Alright, so I'm sick and tired of seeing all these gurus trying to tell you guys how to scale an A&T using old and outdated methods. So today, it's 12 p.m. right now, and I decided I'm gonna sit in this chair. I'm gonna sit in this chair and I'm gonna record you guys a full course, and I'm gonna drop to you guys for completely free. As you can see, I'm not gonna charge you guys anything. And I just want to say, you clicking on this video is already showing me that you are serious. But now, you can actually only be serious if you actually sit down through this whole video and watch this whole thing. Yes, this long. But I'm about to give you guys everything I know. Everything I've learned in the past 18 months in the A&T game. And I was able to scale my A&T from 0 to hitting my first 40K a month in 5 months, by the way. The first thing we're going to talk about before we get into anything will be my journey. My journey in the whole space. And just so I can kind of give you guys some social proof that everything I'm about to say in this video obviously is proof that I actually did it. And I still run my A&T to this day. And I'm not just going to give you some BS, right? So as you can see, this is my profit and loss sheet right here. I made about $352,000. That's in the past year alone, the past 12 months. And this is my journey right here. If we zoom in, this is at the end of 2023. And there's all pictures I took. This is it's like, it was a client sub account. And I might reflect that, I have like basically, he has about like 6K in jobs that he closed. It was one thing crazy. It's the car I drove, and just me obviously in college. And I don't go to college anymore. And this was a message I made to myself, basically saying that like, look, like you say you're gonna log in and everything like that. And it was a message I wanted to see exactly a year later, and I was so happy that I saw this. I remember I saw this again early in 2024, and it's kind of crazy how like I foreshadowed everything, you know. And as you can see, this is basically 2024. This was being in New York. I was there for about a few days, and I'm just kind of fire. It's kind of like love traveling. It's like amazing. This is the car that I had in 2024. Probably honestly like one of my favorite cars. I did sell it the other day, about a month ago, and this was also in Mexico, in Cancun. Pretty much like we're just traveling around. Like in 2024, I was in New York, I was in Cancun, I was in Tulum, I was in Cabo. We're just traveling around, and I was just working online. And that's also the beauty of having a online agency is that you can just I can run from anywhere I want, and that was like the amazing part about it. This is me in Tulum. I was actually on a call with I was gonna call my closer right here because I had a closer at the time, and yeah, like it was amazing. And this is me in 2025. This is the setup right here that I have in the background. It's a pretty cool setup, and this is pretty much where I manage. I haven't traveled in a bit. To be honest, I'm kind of just staying home now, kind of just locked in on my engine. I'm trying to see like how I can improve it and everything like that. And right here is my car that I have now. It's a BMW M8. It's a honestly like my dream car that I really wanted for a long time. And this is the house that I live in now. I live with basically four other agency owners, and it's honestly amazing. We're all locked in. Like imagine like just five agency owners in one house that everyone's pretty locked in, and it's honestly like the environment that I really wanted for a long time. And it's honestly the best thing I've done. And but yeah, that's pretty much everything my journey. I started on basically like September 1st, so you guys can see like a timeline on how fast your growth can be, because a lot of people kind of curious like how fast they can hit the first 10K a month, blah blah. But on September 1st, I started. This is when I started, but I was like, I got serious. In December is when I actually got actually serious in it. I made about 1.4K online, and then in March I did my first 37K, and then in January actually I did my first 9K online. That was my first time hitting. I rated this 9K my A&T, and then I did 37K on March 31st of 2024. I did 40K. I did my first 40K a month on May 1st, 2024, and ever since then I've been doing about 40K a month every single month. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this course, and I'm pretty much I'm gonna drop everything. If you don't know me already, I've spent over $50,000 on coaching itself, and I'm about to drop all the information I've learned on how it's going to 40K a month, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the first topic we're going to talk about today, and this is the most important topic, honestly. And if you can't get this topic right, there's honestly no need for you to watch this. And the most important thing will be your mindset. And I know it's cliche, everybody says the same shit. Oh, your mindset this, but it's just true. It really depends where you're at, honestly. If you're just starting out, and if you're having an agency, let's say you're at 5K a month or maybe at 10K a month, I'm gonna check out exactly what you should be thinking about, and how you should live like a day by day basis. So if you're just starting out, the most important thing right now for you, like the most important thing right now for you, is it's not that you're trying something. Is that I want you to really think about this and say, I'm doing this. This is what I chose to do. This is exactly what I chose to do. Like it's like I want this really, like, I want this really bad. And this is a business model that's gonna get me there. Like, I want you guys to think. Like, I know it's cliche that everybody says like, have your why or have your what. It's actually true. Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you watching this video right now? There's a reason why you're watching this video right now. It's because you want something out of it, and that something is something that you have to figure out yourself. Like, what is the reason why you're doing this? Find out. Like actually ask yourself, why am I doing this? Like, why am I starting this business? Or why do I want to scale to 80K a month, 100K a month, or that's 40K a month, or 10K a month? Why do I want to go there? Because at the end of the day, there's always something that you want. I had my own why. Is that I did not want to be a normal person. I didn't want to have a normal job. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, I hated the thought of having a normal job. It's nothing against that job. Just for me, I just hated me, me thinking that I'm gonna get a normal job. I didn't want to be like everybody else, and also I wanted to take care of my mom. It's the only reason why, the only reason why I started is because I want to take care of my mom. My parents are divorced. That's my dad. He makes like 250K, a year. He makes a good amount, but also my dad has taught me a lot of lessons in my childhood that whatever I want, I have to work for it. So I never really got into it from my dad. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, maybe my dad's rich, so I got this that. I had a reason why I wanted to do this. There's a reason why I started this at the start. It's because I want to take care of my mom, and also I could not fathom the thought of I have to get a job. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, I had to put on a mask in front of my dad for a long time if I want to be a pilot. No, I really I didn't want to be a pilot because I don't want to have a job. I want to be me. I want to do whatever the fuck I want. I want to go wherever the fuck I want, whenever I want. So I want you guys to think about that and think about, why do you really want to do this? Like, what's your main reason on why you want to do this? And I want you guys to take that reason and fuel yourself with that. Like, that's gonna be your fuel every single day. Every single day when you wake up, I want you guys to really think about that. Say, why am I doing this? This is exactly what I'm doing. And check out right now, it's gonna be hard. Even scaling your agency from let's say 10K a month, it's gonna be hard. Like, I check out, like, you going from 0 to 10K is gonna be the hardest thing you do. It's the hardest. It was so hard for me to go from 0 to 10K, but 10K to 40K was so easy. It took me 3 months to go from 0 to hit my first 10K a month. And it took me 1 month to go from zero. It took me 1 month to go from my 10K a month to hit my first 40K a month. Is the 0 to 10K a month is where you learn. It's a learning phase. It's gonna be hard, and don't really have a timeline. Like, a lot of people was like, oh, I have to make 10K a month in the next YG time. No. Just focus on the inputs of, like, what do you have to do every single day? What you have to do every single day is how I have to push the needle. And I'm starting this whole thing off with this because if you don't understand this, you won't go anywhere. It's just like, it's the truth. Is that realize, like, I have to, like, you just have to put the inputs. If you're at 0, we have to realize that I need clients right now. I need clients. So guess what I have to do for clients? I need appointments. And how do I get appointments? Boom. Focus on that and do that only all day long. Or let's say you're at 20K a month. Okay, my problem right now I'm facing is my fulfillment. Then guess what? Focus on that fulfillment. Every single day, push the needle with fulfillment. So, like, on fulfillment stuff, because that's like, focus on things that's gonna actually make you money and not on just everything. Like, just focus on what's gonna actually make you money, and trust me, like, that's how you improve. That's how you improve your life. So now you're probably looking at this and you're like, what the fuck are you showing me? Right? And this is a graph, right? It's a graph that, honestly, this will literally like change your whole mindset, right? When it comes to anything. This is a graph that goes for everything. It's not just the agency or it's a drop shipping. It's just, I want you guys to really understand this. Like, I actually want you guys to really, really understand this part, right? It's the emotional cycle of change, right? And this is exactly what's gonna happen to you. If you just started, let's say, the agency space, at the moment right now, you're at the uninformed optimism. And you may be asking, what does that mean? Well, this is the stage. I'm calling your emotions right now. You're probably really excited. You're really excited to start this. You can't wait to reach XYZ goal. You can't wait to make so much money. You can't wait to be able to work in your business. You can't wait to quit your job. You're excited. I was here. I was exactly right here on stage 1. If you already started your agency, let's say you're there with a few clients, you're probably on stage 2. I don't think anyone's on stage 3 yet. But I want to explain. So on stage one, as I said, you're excited. You're so excited for this new business model you're trying. You're like, man, I can't wait to do this, this, and this. And then as you start, I just slowly start outreaching. I just get told no. You get to stage two, informed pessimism. And basically, what this means is where you start to realize that, damn, it's kind of hard. Like this is looking not easy. Like it's looking kind of challenging, right? Like, oh, okay, like I have to. Oh, damn, this is looking taking a toll. Like, it's taking a toll on me. I have to keep outreaching. Man, I keep getting told no. That's what's gonna happen, right? And that's not the worst part. Is that it goes for every business model. Every business model is hard. Nothing is easy in life. At the end of the day, working a job is hard. Going to school is hard. Um, Having a job that you hate or having a job that you love is hard, right? You starting a new business, you starting a new agency, it's hard. Everything is hard in life. You just gotta choose your hard, right? Now on stage two, you're starting to think like, man, like this is really getting tough. It's kind of hard. And then on stage three, this is where you're like, man, this is tough. This is tough. This is kind of hard. Like it's when you actually realize how hard it is. How hard is it? Like how hard it is to grow and scale an agency. It's not even scaling it. Is you hitting that like your first, like before you hit your first 10K mark, is where you realize like like man, this is hard. I don't know if I like, and this is the stage where 99% of people quit right here. And why do they quit? Because it's too hard, and they don't actually believe in themselves. They start to think, I don't think I can do this. This is too much for me. This is I just don't think I can do it. Like I'm getting told no, no, no. And I'm telling you right now, all you have to do is push through this part. If you can push through this part, you will make money with the agency. And the reason why I'm showing this right now, like in this, like the reason why I'm showing you guys this part in this course, because I've seen people go down this whole route and quit. And when they quit, they get shiny object syndrome, where they see a new thing. Like for example, right now, freelance brand scaling. Oh, I'm gonna try that now. And guess what? It's the same thing. You just go back to stage one, and then you hit stage two, and then you hit stage three, and you quit. Unless you break the cycle, unless you break this exact cycle right here, you can't make it to stage 4 or 5, right? Now I'm gonna break down to you guys my whole journey all based on this. I start the agency, man, I'm excited, let's get it. On stage two was about a month and a half in. Actually, it's about a month in. Like I was so excited, but I was like, okay, it's getting tough. It's getting tough. December 2023. December 2023 is where I was in a valley of despair. And basically, what happened is I'm not making money. I actually signed my first, like, I actually made money from a client at the end of the month. But around the 20th, or on like 25th, dude, everything was shit. I wasn't making money. I actually traveled to visit family. And on my way back, I had to text one of my friends at the airport to buy a water bottle. I had to get Zelled $5 just for me to buy a water bottle because I didn't even have it $5 in my account. And this is where basically I'm down to $0 in my account. I've spent all my money on SMS outreach, trying new things, buying information to the point that I now have no money. And I want you guys to really think how hard it was in that situation, like how easy it was to quit. It's so easy for me to quit and just go get a normal job. It's so easy. This is the part where you're just like everything is not going your way. Nothing is going your way, and it's gonna happen to everyone. No one that you see as past, especially stage three, everyone has to go through this. It's just the way. It's just the way life works. It's just the way how business works. And stage four is when you start closing clients now, right? But you still realize it's hard. Like, okay, I just have to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll finally get out of this. And this was the whole month of January and December. This is where I finally started closing clients. After So many no's and getting told no, 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 no. I don't want to buy from you. I don't want to buy from you. No, I don't want your services. After so many no's, you finally get to a few yeses. And then when you get to a few yeses, is when you get to stage 4. When you start closing a few clients. Right? Everyone will go through this. Even if, let's say, you close a few clients here, something will happen that'll bring you to the valley of despair. There's always something. Because everyone has to go through this. There's always something that's going to bring you down to the valley of despair. But if you can push through the valley of despair, you're literally fine. It's going to be hard, as I said. And on stage 5 is me hitting my first 40K month. And at stage 5 is where you realize everything that fucking happened here was all fucking worth it. It was all worth it. Like, I'm really adding this part right now, like in this course, is because this is a very important part. Like, realizing that this is not going to be easy. I'm not telling you guys it's going to be easy, but at the end of the day, it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible. But what you are trying to achieve right now, like what you see and what you are trying to achieve, is not something that everyone can just do. If everyone could do it, everyone would have an agency, right? Like, if I told you, what's it called? If I told you to just, do XYZ, you make money guaranteed. That's easy. Everyone will do it. Why do you think there's so many gamblers? Because it's easy money. It's easy. Like, just, you do this and it's so easy to make money, right? But the easiest thing is not always the best thing, right? But everyone that's watching this right now, I know all you guys can go through this. I know all you guys can pass this part because you're actually serious. Like, you just clicked a long ass course to learn information. And obviously, I'm here to deliver that information to you. We have to actually use the information. And past stage 3, this is gonna be the hardest part. And if you can push through stage 3, I'm telling you guys right now, you will succeed. If you can pass stage 3, there's no reason why your agency will fail. You have absolutely there's no reason why your agency will fail. And remember, everyone has a different timeline. Everyone has a different timeline in this game. Some people, they scale in 5 months, in 4 months, 3 months, in 1 year. Everyone has a different timeline. It's just about, are you willing to wait? Are you willing to wait? And if you are, you have a huge present waiting for you at the end. But yeah, that's pretty much really it on this part. And I really hope you understood everything I went over for on stage 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And yeah, that's pretty much really it. So, the most important thing you need at first is a niche, right? And we're going to talk about what niches to go in, right? Right here I have example niches. You can take from one of these, or I'll kind of explain to you guys how to pick the right niche. So, what does a niche have to have for it to actually be successful, right? One, the niche has to be proven. You can't go just in like a random niche and just expect to actually make money. Like, you want to go into a niche that's proven, and by proven I mean a niche that has people in there that are making money in the moment or have made money before. Or a niche that's saturated also is a good thing, because a saturated niche only means one thing. It only means that it's a niche that's, because like, nothing will be saturated unless it's actually it's actually good. Like, no niche will be saturated unless it's actually good. So a niche has to be, a niche that's actually like good and people are actually in it. And 2, it has to be high ticket. You can't go for a low ticket niche, like let's say like restaurants or what examples can I give? Like, just a niche that didn't really make as much money, like a coffee shop. Like, those are like bad niches. And the reason why they're bad is because it's a niche that they don't already make a lot of. Like, for example, if you do marketing for them, right, and let's say they're paying about $2,000 every time you get them a deal, right? I mean, what's it called? They're paying about $2,000 every single month, right? They're paying $2,000 every single month. Now, how many sales of coffees, right, do you have to get them for them to be able to pay you the $2,000 every single month and pay for advertising and profit? Each coffee, they probably make $1. It means they have to sell 3,000, actually like 5,000 coffees in 1 month, just for them to actually like make an ROI on your services. So you're not really gonna make anything. And also at the same time, a coffee shop does not really have thousands of dollars to just spend like that. It's just not the way it works. So a reason why you want to pick a high ticket, if it's like a service niche, you can pick a service base. Is like, let's say roofers, or like solar companies, or pool builders, or med spas, or landscaping, hardscaping, or real estate There's so many more niches, right? But the reason why we go in these niches is because, for example, like a roofing company, right? If you bring him one job, he makes $3,000 to $5,000 in profit, or even more. I've had a client that made $8,000 in profit, right? Just it's way easier to make the money. Like he pays me a monthly basis, or like an upfront, or like a set of few, like a paper appointment. I'll get into offers later in this video, but it's just that I can get him just one job, and he already ROI is how much he paid me already. And ideally, I want to get him 3 to 4 jobs every single month. If I get him 3 to 4 jobs every single month, he just made $10,000. Now he has no problem paying me $2,000 to $3,000 every single month, and paying for the ad spend because he still profits $5,000. So it's not really about like it's just about pick a niche that's high ticket, and they actually need the service. The service that we're basically doing is we're basically with lead generation, right? We sell leads. That's what we do. We get them leads. Now, if you're going inside a niche that does not need leads, like it's not gonna work out. Like a restaurant, it doesn't really want leads. You get me? Like it doesn't really want like leads like that, right? But a roofer or like a solar company or like a pool builder or like med spas, they like their whole business revolves around leads. They need leads to be in business. That's the most like they need leads. If they don't have leads, they can't be in business. It's just the way it is, right? So this is why like you just want to pick a high ticket niche, a niche that's proven that it works, and that obviously like and you can make them a lot of money. Because then like at the end of the day, like this whole service is basically if you can make somebody money, he'll always pay you. It's just the way like so universe works. It's like we want to pick a niche that's very easy for us to make them money, because then I guess the more money that we what's called I was saying is that the more money that we make them, the more money that they're gonna give us. It's just the way like it's so much easier to make people money in these niches. So then it's so much easier for them to pay us in general. Like it's just why we go inside a high ticket niche. So on this part, it should not take you that long to pick a niche. Just go on and pick a proven niche. This is exactly what I did. Like I made a mistake by not choosing a proven niche at first. I'm telling you guys right now, like this is why I have this early on in the video, because it's a mistake that costed me 2 months of time. 2 months of time and hours of outreach, just because I went a niche that did not work. And one last thing about picking a niche is they have to actually have money. Roofers have money. Solar companies have money. Med spas, they all have money. For some landscapers, they have money. You want to go into a niche that they have money, and it's easy for you to make the money, so it's easier for them to pay you. If someone has no money, then he can't buy your services. So this is why we go inside a niche that's high ticket, because they make more money, and that means that they have money. Like there's so many roofers that are willing to pay so much, like for your services. Like they're willing to pay so much. I have a client right now spending me $5,300 every single month, because it's so easy for me to make them a lot of money, but also because I offer them a lot of services. It's not just like the lead generation; it's just a lot more complex. But I'll get into that, on the offer side. But it's so easy to get paid once you as soon as you figure out how to make money. You're always gonna like, and also like in these niches, they're not going anywhere. AI is not gonna replace you. If you can make money, they will always pay you. You will always make money forever. This is, but like it's like basically having a job, like basically, because if you once you figure out how to make money, they will always pay you. You'll always make money. It's just the way the universe works. So I want you guys to pick a niche and pick a high ticket niche that obviously they actually need your solution. They need your solution that you have, this lead generation, and it's high ticket. Like like they have money to pay for it, and it's easy for you to make them a lot of money. That's pretty much how to pick a niche. Like it's really that simple. We're gonna talk about offers now, because the first thing I want you guys to realize is running a guarantee or a basic SMMA offer is a commodity. And how I would explain this is that, because especially in the past few years, is that there's been a lot of new kids, a lot of kids that, they see this online, and all these gurus just tell them, go and tell this guy, I guarantee you XYZ. Now, I guess the problem with that is that when everyone is doing the same shit, a person has to basically like he has to beat his offer, because everyone kind of has like a basic understanding that you have to be different, right? So let's say if I'm guaranteeing you, let's say 25 appointments, right? Now, if a different guy sees your offer, he's gonna be like, okay, I have to beat this guy. So he does maybe 30 or he does 45. And what happens is that people ended up over promising and under delivering to the point that roofers not to see, or let's say roofers or like solar companies, just anybody, they just see as like if you get um anything below that, it's just not good. It's their new expectation. They're expecting to get 40 appointments every month. To the point that if you hop on a call with them on this and then basically tell them I'll guarantee it's a 20, they're like, oh, like it's nothing crazy. But the thing is that if you overpromise, it's gonna bite you because you're not gonna deliver on that promise. Because at the end of the day, like it's not like he's about to give you maybe like 10 grand in ad spend. He's not gonna give you that in the first month. He already has trust issues because he bought those services from those kids that were guaranteeing for 40 appointments, and they're only able to give him 20, 30 appointments. But at the end of the day, that's a good amount of appointments. It's just that if you were told something, right? You were told something, it was a guarantee, and if you get anything under it, they're not gonna they're basically gonna see us like, you told me you can give me this, but you didn't. It means that like you didn't care, or like you didn't try, or maybe you're just lying. Like it's just the way they see it, right? So basically, I want you guys to realize that an offer is your foundation of your agency. Without a good offer, you're not making any money. It's just the way it works now. And in 2025, like I realized this myself, and I crafted honestly like the best offer. I crafted like the best offer that I'm gonna show you guys exactly what those offers are. But like this is the foundation. Every agency they say that's big, it's because their offers is what's gonna actually bring you sales and eyeballs in your business. Without a good offer, you just can't sell. And if you can't sell, you can't fulfill. And if you can't do any of those, you can't make any money. Like it's just the way, just the way the space is, like in general. It's just the way the agency space is in general. So if you can't fulfill or you can't get eyeballs in your business, you're never gonna make money. But I'm gonna fix that for you guys right now. So you're probably wondering, what type of offer am I supposed to run in 2025? Because Mo just told me that all the guaranteed offers don't work anymore, right? Just guaranteed offers, they're just not great. And what you need to do is, as I said, like you have to really understand that you really have to be different, because you're coming in a market in a niche that's already proven, right? As I said, is that you're a fish that's basically the same. Now, the only way you can really attack it is that you have to be different. It's just the way, like, if you're not different, you're not gonna make money. Like, because if you're seen as the same person over and over again, it's just about like, it's really picking now is who's the cheapest. And if you compete with price, you're just never gonna actually make money, because then like you're basically I guess like it's not gonna see the value, or like a value like inside your service, because like you're saying, oh, I'll do it for $1,000 instead, or I'll do it for $500. Like I'm seeing people doing $500,000 retainers because they're just a commodity. That's the thing, is that you're competing with price when you know yourself you have a good product. Like at the end of, like, you're providing leads and money to these guys, and you can't just do it for a cheap amount. Like you really have to be different. It's same as like Airbnb. Like for example, Airbnb, when they came in the hotel industry, right? They didn't just just said, okay, I'm gonna just sell hotels, or I'm gonna just do like hotel bookings. They realized that if they want to be if they want to really take over this industry, they have to be different. And what they did is that they said, okay, instead of a person being able to book a hotel, he's able to book a house or an apartment for the same price as a hotel. And that's what really changed. Like that's really what changed their business. Like I'll pick Airbnb any day over a hotel, any day, because I get a full house and getting like a tiny room for the same price as a hotel. Sometimes it's even cheaper, to be honest. Like sometimes, like I've not stayed in a hotel ever since, all because what Airbnb has to offer to me is just a lot better. It's just a lot better. Now, basically, the offer you're gonna run in 2025 is you want to run a performance offer. And by performance offer, what that basically means is that you frame yourself as a performance agency, that you really only like, you make most of your money on the back end, but also you make a good amount on the front end. Like on the front end, because they're basically buying into your service, right? And remember, like always sells basically leads, right? You can do leads and appointment setting, it's really up to you. But if you're doing a paper appointment, you want to do leads and appointment setting for sure, because it's basically you control that for sure. Or you can do a paper close and have an offer of $2,000 to $4,000 plus a performance fee every time they close a deal. So for example, in the roofing industry, right? And actually, before I get into that, how you pick like the offer you're gonna run is that you want to figure out like why, like what's gonna like cause, like I mean like what does your market actually want? Do they want like a paper close or like a paper appointment? I will test out the paper appointment first and kind of see how it does, and then I'll test out a paper close. But it just really depends on how much trust does your market have in your services. If they haven't been burnt as much, you can do a paper appointment, or you can even do a paper lead also. A paper lead is also a really good example. I've seen so many people scale to 100K, like 100K a month using paper lead. It's just by having an offer that's really good, and it really hooks people into like what you do. Like for example, when I switched to a paper close, I took mine from 8K to hit my first 40K a month as soon as I did that. All because I changed the way everything was framed, the way my offer was framed, and just everything just made more like it just like they see you as an authority in the space now. Because at the end of the day, at first when I came into the roofing industry, I'm competing with people, let's say, that I've been here for 5 years. Like for example, roofing marketing pros that have been here for years, years and years, that have more experience than me, more testimonials than me. It's just that they're the top dogs in the space. And how can I beat them? Is by having a better offer than them. That's the only way. The only way you can beat someone is by having a better offer. Like, yes, you can be, let's say, better at marketing and sales than them, but you will really only beat a company or like you only beat your competitors by having a stronger offer. And this is the offer that really works because let's say you do a paper appointment, right? He pays you about 3K upfront, and let's say in the first month you get him 10 appointments. You probably get him like 20 appointments. But if you get him only 10 appointments in the first month, you just made $4,500, $4,500 in the first month. And the best thing about this offer is that when you run ads, or let's say when you do cold outreach to go to get appointments, it's so much easier to get people onto a Zoom meeting because it's an offer that they want. They actually want you. Like what you have to offer them is very strong because it's a no-brainer offer. Having a no-brainer offer is what's going to bring eyeballs to your business and people that want your service, right? So it's just by having this offer, you get like I'm telling you right now. If you were to do 1,000 cold calls on an appointments guarantee, and I did 1,000 on the performance offer, and we use the same exact script, I just changed my offer. I will book 3 times more meetings than you. I'll book 3 times more meetings than you, just because my offer is just better. So realize how important your offer is, and trust me, like you can sell retainers, you can sell everything. It's just about just frame the offer really strong and good. That's really all that matters. By having a strong offer, this is like it's like what I have here is just examples. It's just examples. Just have a strong offer, and trust me, it will be fucking amazing. And as I was saying, on ads, like for example, on ads, I was averaging an acquisition cost of $400 to $500. So I pay $500 to basically on Facebook for me to get my own clients, right? And I make about 3K upfront. Plus, if I get 10 appointments, that's $4,500 in the first month. I just spent like you just spent $500 and made $4,500 back. Like how much better is that? Instead of like a retainer model, basically average acquisition on a retainer model is 1,000 to 1,500. That's if you're picking the right clients. Because if they churn now and you didn't hit your guarantee, you have to refund them. Well, on this offer, even if you don't perform as good, let's say on the first month, first month and second month and third month and fourth month you were amazing, and on the fifth month you don't perform as well, it doesn't really matter because they didn't really pay you as much. But because a client only sees a month by month, he doesn't care what you did 4 months ago or what you did for the past 4 months. What he cares about is I paid you XYZ this month. This is why it's like a retainer guarantees. I paid you XYZ and I didn't get back what you said you're gonna get me. So I'm done. Cause he only sees month by month. Like I want you guys to realize that client only sees month by month. He doesn't see the few months that you did amazing. Cause he only cares about right now and not the past. So that's pretty much it on the offer. And basically explains that this is what the market wants. Like the market is tired of seeing BS guarantees. Like it's not the same estimate made as 8 years ago that's advertised by let's say Ty Lopez or Ima Gazi, all them stuff. It's not the same thing anymore. It's 2025. It's not the same shit. Like if people are telling you that this is what you have to do, it's because they're running like they're trying to tell you how to run an agency from how they ran it in 2022, in 2023, years ago. This is what the market is now, just because a lot of kids just came in and just ruined the BS like ran crazy BS guarantees to the point that they see those ads every single day. And there's people still doing it to this day, and there's a lot of people that are still doing it to this day. And how we beat them is by having a better offer, a stronger offer. Because this is what the market wants now. Because the market is tired. If you realize there's a lot of trust issues going on in the market. There's so much trust issues. But the whole point is that we want to make sure that we are selling something that the market wants. Because if the market has demand, like if there's demand, we're gonna sell it. If there's demand for the service and the offer, you're always gonna make money. And this is what's gonna make you money. Let's put much on offers. You should be able to pick an offer. It'll be just go and pick an offer that that your market wants that's strong. Because having a strong offer is what's actually gonna make you money, as I said. So go and pick a really strong offer, and trust me, it'll work. And really focus on your offer, because that's the foundation of your ANT. You need appointments now. Now that you have your offer down, you pretty much have everything down, you need to start, you need appointments on the calendar. And the best outreach strategy, the best out of all of them, out of cold calls, out of every single one, the best one is always going to be SMS Blast. And the reason why it's the best is because you're able to do a high volume at an efficient rate and send your offer to basically all business owners. You can send 1,000 at once, and you'll get at least 20 responses, maybe 30 responses at once, and you should be able to book 8 to 10 appointments every single day. You can do cold calls. You can still do cold calls. It works, but the best outreach strategy that works, and it's the same one that I did myself, and I was able to book 8 appointments a day before I got into paid ads, was SMS outreach, right? And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to set it up. So the first thing we need when it comes to outreach, I'm not going to use AI for this. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to set up. So I guess the first message we're basically gonna send to we'll send to our niche, like to basically our prospect that we want to get, is gonna be a message that's bait. You want to send a bait text pretty much, right? A bait text, like for example, hey, are you looking for more roofing jobs, or are you looking to take on more solar deals, or are you available for more med spa jobs? It's so simple to set up. So for this example, let's say we're inside a concrete niche, right? In the concrete paving niche. That's also an amazing niche you can go into, right? So, hey ChatGPT, I am in the concrete niche. I'm going to set up SMS Blast, and I want you to help me set up my text sequences. My offer is pay per appointment, and I want to send 2 text messages. So basically, I want to send a first text, a bait one, and then my offer after that. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what to do after you get the response. But I want to send 2 text messages, right? So I'm going to put that in. So this is text one says, and if you the concrete, and then on the following up, it'll kind of give like a base. But we already said this, so basically as an understanding like what we're trying to do, and then I'm gonna put, okay, I want my first text to be a bait text sounding like a customer, and then my second text will be my offer text once they respond. Make my offer text very strong and a no-brainer since it's a pay per appointment. Now let's see what it spits out. Bit text. Hey, do you do concrete work around? I'm looking to get. I wouldn't add this part. I would just do only this part. Hey, do you do concrete work around? It's like, I guess wherever it's located. But also, on this text, it's still not as good because then now we have to basically do like a manual text, right? Like where it's like city name. We want it to be a text that we can send to everybody else, right? So basically, how I'll edit this is, hey, do you do concrete, or hey, are you available for more concrete work? That's a really good text, because you sound like a normal person. Because, like, remember, at the end of the day, they receive cold calls every day. They see your ads every single day. All they really, like, we just want to send a text that It's very short, and there's a like it's natural, exactly like how it says. It's natural, and that there's a high chance for a response. And then actually, I'll just send this one. I'll help contractors like you get qualified appointments with ready to hire, and you only pay per appointment, no monthly costs and no contracts. Want me to send in details? So how basically I'll edit this is edit the second text to be more of more no brainer, but at the end make it sound like I will call them. Actually, make it sound like I will call them if they are interested. Basically, got it. Actually, so I help concrete contractors get ready to hire appointments, and you only pay per appointment, no upfront fees, and no contracts, and super simple. We deliver leads, you close the job. If you're interested, I can give you a quick call and explain. It won't take more than 5 minutes. This is a perfect text right here, and the only thing I'll change about it is remove the upfront fees. Now, if you're just let's say you're a beginner, right, and you're just starting out, don't charge as much. You don't have to charge thousands of dollars because at the moment that you're at the stage that you're at, we want clients to so we can start basically delivering the service. And when we deliver the service, we get proof of concept and we get feedback. And as we get feedback, we also get results for our clients. When we get results for clients, we can go ahead and basically I'm able to leverage that on our sales costs. It's just like we'll see exactly what to spit out. But yeah, this is literally perfect right here. It's no contracts. It's basically saying, look, it's paper appointment. There's no contracts. There's no commitments. We send you leads and you close the job. If interested, I'll give you a quick call and walk you through it. It'll take 5 minutes max. This is a perfect text to send to them, right? And it's basically like it's a no-brainer. Like if I got this text, it's like, oh, I only pay per appointment, like only pay per qualified appointment. And at the end of the day, like he wants appointments because remember, leads is what feeds their business. Without leads, they're not in business. It's just the way it works. If they don't have leads, they can't make money. And if they have leads, they make more money. If they have more leads, they make more. Like it's basically saying, look, I'll make you more money, and you only pay me every time I give you a chance to make money. It's a no-brainer. So what we basically want to do on this text is that we go to high level and create a new automation, right? So we're gonna copy the text right here. So this is gonna be a text where I'll just keep this in like your notepad. I'll keep this in your notepad. But what we really want is the first text right here. Hi, will you do concrete work? Or I'm gonna I'll change this. Change the first text to be more more basic that I can send to everyone. Remove the city name and keep it one sentence. This is great. Only thing I'll change about this is add are you available for concrete work. Boom. This is the perfect first text to send because it's a bait. Like it's a easy for everyone to say yes to. Because at the end of it, we want them to respond first before we send them an offer. It's just because no one wants to get a text. It's just like, hey, I'll do this. It's just, hey, are you available? Like you kind of I guess build a small like a you build a little bit of rapport before even sending the offer. Like I tested me sending only the offer and me sending a first text, and me sending a first text always worked the best. So you want to take the first text, you go to high level, and you add a new trigger. It's a very easy automation to build out. You want to tap send. Where's the SMS? You want to send the SMS for actually this is the trigger. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So you don't add any triggers. My fault. You don't add any triggers. You go to the plus button right here, and you tap SMS. As soon as you look up SMS, it will be send SMS. You copy and paste your message. Hey, are you available for concrete work? Save action, and you save your workflow. Now, you can basically be more creative and have a whole pipeline set up where basically you can have it so then or wait 5 minutes or like or wait you can put it right here and you can put like basic conditions if they respond. If they respond to your SMS, and I have a timeout basically 24 hours. Actually, set to just 1 day. So basically, it waits for a contact reply, a SMS. Basically, it waits for a response. If after 1 day, they basically don't respond, I'll just remove them from everything. But if they do respond, so we can go ahead and be a bit more creative about it. So if they already respond, if in 1 day they basically responded, we'll remove them to let's say you can do update opportunity right here, and then you can go to move it to like a pipeline. That's like a pipeline where basically everyone that responded can be there. You can also make it so that every time that he responds like a no, or make it like a DQ. This is very easy to set up like on high level. I don't focus basically too much about this, and they can make it so that if after 1 day he doesn't respond, they can send like a follow up text like SMS. Hey, is this? And they can have company name over here. Probably be have his full name. It's just after 1 day you can send us got a follow up text. But what really matters is that you send that first text, and using this automation, you're literally able to send 1,000 texts at once. 1,000 texts at once. And the reason why it's good is because you just see like you just send like a big chunk, like 1,000 texts at once, and you get 20 on the first text. You should get at least 80 to 100 responses, and then from there, after you send your offer, you should get at least 8 to 10 calls off 1,000. Of 1,000 SMS, if your whole goal, if every day you're booking 8 to 10 calls, you're really fine. Because our whole goal right now is we want to be on as many calls as possible. You want to be on as many calls as possible, and SMS is so easy to set up. Like it's a very a really simple automation that I was able to set up in 5 to 10 minutes. So use ChatGPT to go to create your first text and your offer text, and trust me, it will work so good. You'll be able to book appointments like it's nothing. Like it's really just that simple. That's pretty much how you go in and outreach, how you set up a text message. And remember, the most important thing is that when you send your offer, as soon as they respond to you, they say anything but no, is when you go ahead and give them a call to go to book them for basically a Zoom meeting. Or basically, so if they respond to anything but no, you give them a call to go and book them in. Because remember, at the text, we basically said, or you vote for like a quick phone call, you call them up, and it's basically a cold call, but it's someone that's basically, it's not like a cold call. It's more like a cold, but it's not like a warm lead. But it's someone that wants you to call them. When you're doing cold calls, it's just like you're calling random people that don't want to talk to you. But now you're calling someone that actually wants to talk to you. Like he knows what you have. He knows what you have to offer. He just wants to know more about it. Like he's more like he wants to know more. Like he's actually very curious of what you have to offer. Like he wants what you just sent them on a text. So it's gonna be a way easier call and a way easier way to set appointments. So it'll be so much easier to set appointments using SMS Blast. But yeah. So you're probably wondering now, okay, I have SMS all set up. I pretty much have everything set up. How do I get leads? Right? This is how you can get leads for completely free. This is exactly what I did when I was doing SMS outreach. If you're doing cold calls, it doesn't matter. If you just need leads for free, this is the best way to get leads. I'm telling you guys, it's the best and easiest way to get leads. Like they're literally free online. Unless you have money to get into paid ads, this is the way to get free leads. So you go to Google and you want to look up an app called Data Miner. It's going to be a Google extension, and you add it into the it's like Google Chrome. It's literally free. It's completely free. And you go on Google Maps, and you look up your niche. If you're in HVAC and solar, roofing, or med spas, they're all on Google Maps. This is how you get free leads. They're literally free on Google Maps. You don't got to pay for Google Maps or Data Miner. And then once you look up your company, I came to Charlotte right now because I don't want to dox my location, obviously. But you want to scroll all the way down. Just scroll all the way down on this side, right? So you go scroll all the way down. Perfect. Now, once you scroll all the way down, all you want to do is go to Data Miner and press this. And then as soon as you press this, it's going to ask you to log in. Let me go ahead and log in right now. So log in. I just dox my email. You can go to email me. But anyways, once you log in, when you tap on Data Miner, it'll load up something like this. Just give it a second. And then you'll have just like a scrapers that you can use for free, right? Now, what you want to do is go to Google Maps, list It's list scrape on V2 and tap scrape. And the moment you tap scrape, or go ahead and scrape all the information out here. Their it's got their company name, their number, if they have an email, just everything on this page, it will scrape it automatically for you and put it inside a CSV file. You can take that file, you go inside a high level, you can go to import it, and you'll import all your leads, and you just go to add all those leads into your SMS automation, and then you'll be able to send out a text to every single person in that list. Or you can add it to like a Google Sheets. It's really up to you, but pretty much this is gonna be the best way, and it's completely free. It's how you get leads. It's so easy. You can literally get 120 leads every time you go to scrape. And if you want to pay for leads, you can use for example, like there's other softwares you can like Outscraper. Because Outscraper, it's a pretty good but it does cost a little bit. It costs about $5 a list for like 1,000. But Outscraper is also amazing. This is exactly what I also use, because here you can just do like at once you can will scrape every single person on Google Maps for you automatically for any zip code or any state. Costs about $5 to $10 for like 1,000. But honestly, it'll be a lot more efficient to get it on Outscraper. But if you don't want to spend any money, you can always use Google Maps. You just have to do it basically just all manually. But you can use basically Data Miner, or you can use Outscraper. This is gonna be it's gonna be the best way for you to get leads for completely free. Or if you use Outscraper, it'll just be like $5 to $10 every time you get a list. But don't buy lists from, let's say, from what are those websites called? Like those, like like those known websites. I forgot the name of them. But all those known websites, you're buying leads that everybody has. Like anyone can go on that website and buy leads. Just go on Google and get the same leads. You don't need the name of the person. All you really need is his phone number and company name. That's all you need. You don't need his name, his number, his family, his fucking bloodline, his fucking LinkedIn, his IG. No, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. All you literally need is his company name and his phone number. And his email. If you want to do basic cold email also. You just need his company name and phone number. That's the most important thing. And you can start outreach. Ideally, you want to do as much outreach every single day. So ideally, you should be on here every single day, all day long. I would scrape outreach. Like it's pretty much all you do. Like on SMS Blast, you should be able to do you should be doing on SMS at least 1,000 SMSs every single day. If you're cold calling also, you should be doing at least 100 to 150 cold calls every single day. If you're doing emails, you should be sending at least 1,000 to 2,000, maybe even 3,000 emails every single day. And the reason why I didn't put this cold email in this list is because on cold email, it takes a little bit to get set up. It takes you about a week or two, because to get a domain, you buy emails, you have to warm it up, and that takes about a week or two, and have to send it out. We want to move with speed. Moving with speed is what's going to get us that client like as soon as possible. You want to move with speed. That's like the most important thing. But all you want to do all day long is outreach and get your first client. It's really just that simple. You get the list from Data Miner or Outscraper, and you fucking outreach. But yeah, this is how you get leads for free. So now you guys have just arrived at the most important part, because I just explained to you guys how to outreach and everything like that. And I want you guys to realize that it's a volume game. It's literally a volume game. This is a very important part, because if you don't if you're not doing the volume, you just won't move fast. Like, realize that, like, especially if you're just starting out on your outreach, like it's straight volume. There's no special, like, it's volume. The only reason why there's somebody out there that's getting more appointments than you and closing more deals than you and making more money than you is because he's doing more volume. It's nothing special. The only difference between my agency and instead of doing 8 to 9K a month is because I'm just doing more volume. That's it. At 8 to 9K a month, you have things figured out. You know how to close clients. You know how to get appointments. You're just not getting enough appointments. Like, realize that it's a volume game. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a really good scenario. When I first started, I used to do cold calls and IG DMs. I was doing like a good amount of volume. But the thing is that is when I found out about SMS pretty much. And when I found out about SMS, I was doing about 1,000 a day. But the person that taught me how to do SMS, he told me to do 150 to 200 SMS every single day. But I said, fuck that, because 200 SMS is only going to get me how much? 2 appointments? Like, bro, I'm trying to get 10 appointments every day, because the difference between you learning how to run an agency is straight by just trying over and over again. So it means that if I can hop on as many sales calls as possible, what does that mean? That means that I'm gonna have a higher chance of me to close a client, and over time you just get better. Because at the end of the day, you only get better at doing something the more you do it. So if I can hop on more calls, I'm gonna learn a lot faster than someone that's not hopping on as many calls. And the person that taught me how to do SMS, he still has not cracked 10K a month to this day. And I'm not clowning him, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I moved with speed. Moving with speed and doing as much volume as possible is what's going to get you there as soon as possible. Earlier in this course, I was explaining that that find the reason why you're doing this, right? And like it's just he was getting about 1 to 2 appointments a day, but I was doing 10 times as much outreach as him. So I was getting 10 to even 12 appointments like a few days. Well, I say about 8 to 10 appointments every single day. And I was only able to do that because I was doing more volume than him. Like, I signed my client way faster than him. I hit my first 10K a month way faster than him. And I hit my first 40K a month way faster than him because I moved the volume and speed. Volume and speed is what's going to get you there. The volume, like having the volume is what's going to improve and or just change everything for you. Because having a volume of appointments will teach you how to close those appointments. Having a volume of clients will teach you how to fulfill for those clients. Having a volume of cold outreach will teach you how to book as many appointments as possible because you just get better at it. Like, you're not going to be perfect. Like, no agency out there is perfect, has perfect everything. My agency is not even perfect yet. My agency is not even perfect. It's that having the right, just doing the right things and focusing on exactly what you're what am I struggling with exactly right now is what's going to actually make a change for you. Like, just focus on volume, especially in the beginning. Even if you're at 9 to 10K a month, right? Or maybe like 15K a month, or maybe like 20K a month, right? If you did twice the amount of volume at 20K a month than you did, you will be at 40K a month. It's straight just a volume game, guys. I'm telling you guys, it's a volume game. The difference between an agency that's doing 100K a month and 40K a month is volume. The difference between an agency that's doing, let's say, 50K a month and 5K a month is volume. The guy that's at 100K a month, he's hopping twice as many sales calls as me. He has closes in place. It's straight volume. Like, once you have the information, it's straight implement it and do as much as possible. Do as much fucking outreach as possible. Spend all day long. I want you guys to wake up every day saying, okay, how can I do as much outreach today? SMS, I'm doing cold calls. Just do everything. Speed and volume will take you so far. Speed and volume is what's going to really take you so far. This is why I added this right after. I'm going to add this part after the cold outreach part because it's very important. Like, I had some guy that I was talking to the other day, and I was helping him out, and he was like, "Hey Mo, blah blah, I've been doing the agency for a while, and I still haven't cracked my first client." And I was like, the first question I asked him is, how many people do you reach out, every day? And he told me, I do about 50 DMs a week. A week. It's not that it's bad. It's that there's people out there doing 500 a day, 10 times more than you, that you're doing a week in a day. So who's going to get that client faster? It's common knowledge. Who's going to get that client faster? The guy doing 500 DMs a day. Who's going to hit his first 10K a month faster? The guy that's doing 500 DMs a day. The more volume you do, the faster you get there. It's the same as if two people are running in a race, right? And one's running at, let's say, 8 miles per hour, and one's running at 5 miles per hour. It's not that realistic, but who's gonna get the finish line faster? The guy that's running 8 miles per hour. It's just the way it works. Just, dude, if you can do more volume than everybody else, dude, you'll fucking crush it. Just the way it fucking works. Everything in life is just do as much as possible, and trust me, you will fucking make it there. But yeah, that's pretty much this part. And I remember, volume is fucking key. So the most important thing when you're running an agency at 0, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, it doesn't matter. Numbers. Tracking your fucking numbers. I'm telling you guys right now, people do they want to skip the step, right? And not of this part, but this is the most important part of an agency is that you have to be able to track your numbers. And by numbers, I mean you basically want to track, okay, how many calls or how much did I spend on ads? How many SMS did I do? How many appointments did I get? How many appointments actually showed up? How many got DQ'd? How many did I make offers? How many did I close? Having those numbers on the front end is what's because like the whole agency space is numbers. That's what I want you guys to realize. It's literally numbers. Like I'll show you guys an example exactly how why it's numbers, but it's literally just all numbers. Like it's literally all numbers. Once you realize, because like when you have numbers, is when you can actually go ahead and fix your bottlenecks. That's when you can fix your actual bottlenecks that's happening in your business. Because you see everything that's happening. Like when you're running ads, you want to be able to see exactly what's going on. Like exactly what is going on with my ads? What's my show rate? Is it my KPI? What's my lead cost? What's my appointment cost? What's my qualified appointment cost? Having all those numbers will really make a big difference. Like right now, I'll go in and I'll share my screen to basically like I'll show you guys an example of my KPI when I was in 8K a month, and then I first started my first 37K a month. I'll show you guys that right now. But realize numbers is very important. So right here is my so right here right now, I just put on my KPI sheet for last year in February. So you can see I did my first 9.4K a month. It was actually 20K in contracts, but we only cash collected $9,000 in that month. I'm not flexing how much in contracts because it doesn't matter. It's about how much cash you collected. Well, as you can see, all the numbers right here, I have it down, right? All the numbers are really just down. And having this is that you have like a way broader view of exactly what's going on. What's your offer close rate? Like, what is your close rate every time you make an offer, right? What's your DQ rate? What's your basically like your showing calls? Like what's your show rate? Because then this is where you see everything that's going on in your business. Like you get to see how many calls you scheduled, how many calls you scheduled, how many showing calls, how many DQs, and if you move to let's say in March, actually let me show you guys this first. I scheduled 79 calls in the month of February. I did 9.4K, right? By having numbers, you understand what the bottlenecks are. In the month of March, we scheduled 181 calls in total. Our reschedule rate was 37%, or show rate was 47%, but we made 39 offers and we were able to close 11 out of those 39 offers, and that cash collected us $37,400. That was the month of March. And if you go to the month of April, 271 calls were scheduled in total. This is where we realized that we needed more volume. We needed more volume and to dial everything in and see why, like, what exactly is going on. 271 calls were scheduled. 105 calls actually showed up. 14 were disqualified, and 65 offers were made. And our offer close rate, we only closed 15 people. But now that we have these numbers, you're probably asking yourself, okay, yes, we had more calls scheduled, and we made $39,000. But for us to improve, we have to realize why was our offer closed lower than before. Because then when you have this, you're able to see pretty much everything that's going on. You're able to see exactly what is happening with what is exactly happening. Why do we not make as much money? Why do we make I guess less money than before? Is that you're just able to see everything that's going on. Like you see, our offer close rate, it went down here, so now we can step back at the end of the month and say, okay, why did our offer close rate, why did it go down? What's happening on our sales process? Did we change our sales process? What exactly is going on? Like, it's just having these numbers will just make things a lot easier for you, right? And if we go to the month of May, as you can see, our offer close rate was 26%, and I actually made $40,000 in that month in cash collected, and we scheduled 176 calls. Call to reschedule rate at 32%, and our shown rate was 52%. Now, our baseline KPIs, basically show rate is at 50%. Our baseline close rate is 26%. So we know that every time, right? Every time we have at least 4 prospects, we have to close at least 1, or else there's something that we did wrong. This is why, like, when you track numbers, you have a way broader vision of exactly what is exactly going on. Like, I'm showing you guys the insides of an agency, what it really takes, right? As you can see, on May 30th, we actually did a 10K a day on that day. And it's just, when you have a way broader view, you're just able to see a lot more and see everything that's going on. This is why I tell you guys to track your numbers. And don't only track basically how many calls you have scheduled. Actually track your ad KPIs too. Like how much you spend on ads, how many calls did you book. You can do that all in here. If you go to Ads Tracker, and I go to, let's say, a month of April, I see I spent $7,000 on ads. I booked 220 sales calls, and this is how much exactly I'm paying per call. This is our cost per call and a cost per qualified call, and this was how many deals we closed. Like you can see, like you have a cost per acquisition. You pretty much have everything. Like this is where you see exactly what's going on with your ads. Like with your ads, or even if it comes to cold outreach, make a KPI sheet where you're able to track everything. How many calls you made, how many appointments you booked, out of those appointments you booked, what was your show rate, and also you can go in and be like it's same thing for SMS. How many SMS did you send? How many appointments did you book? Like and then you'll be able to see pretty much like a cost per acquisition, or you can see like an SMS per acquisition. Like basically how many SMS did it take me to acquire this client? How many SMS did it take me to acquire, let's say, 5 clients? Or how many cold calls did it take me to acquire 5 clients? And there's gonna be a baseline number, and that means that, for example, $491. So in the month of April, every time I spent $491, I'm guaranteed to secure one client if I don't change anything in my funnel. If I don't change anything in my funnel, I'm guaranteed one client. If you keep doing exactly what you're doing, you're guaranteed. You're like, it's all numbers. Every time you spend $481, you will close one client. It's same thing for May, right? Or acquisition cost they want higher, but you went for a higher cost instead of funnel, but we made more money. It's just about tracking everything and make sure that everything's within your KPI. If you track your show rate, I want to track your appointment rate. What is your close rate? What's your cost per call? What's your cost per qualified call? What's your cost per offer? Look at all those numbers, and trust me, you just have a way broader vision of exactly everything that's going on in your agency. When you have all these numbers, this is where you can make some good decisions. Don't make emotional decisions all based off, I just stopped on the call, he was unqualified, or I think I'm closing out a lower percentage than last month, or I think I'm gonna make less. No, look at your numbers, or you say like just look at your numbers and make decisions based on what you're seeing on the numbers and not based on your emotions. Because if you make emotional decisions, you'll make bad decisions. And I'll show you guys exactly what emotional decisions look like. If you go right here, and if you go to the month of July, as you can see, we cash collected $18,000 in the month of July. And if we didn't track our numbers, we would have no idea of it's exactly like, this is what happened. We only know about this because we tracked our numbers. We made 18,000, but then we made 30K in the first 2 weeks of August. But how, like, why are you making emotional decisions? We made $18,000 in total. And if you go to the month of July right here, spent $7,635. And the $18,000, it wasn't all from the ads, obviously. We made $12,000 in new cash in that month. In the month of July, we did $12,000. And I'm only able to show this because I have numbers to show for it. If you go over here, in July, let's go to July. July, it's not showing the new cash properly, but it's $12,000 only was made in new cash. Everything else, I don't know why these numbers are wrong, to be honest. But anyways, but we made I remember exactly. It was $12,000 in new cash. And we spent 7,000. Like you can see, we only closed 4 people that month. But the reason why we only closed 4 people because we stopped looking at the numbers. But when we actually, like, we sat down and looked at all the numbers. Like if you go over here in July, you can see amount of calls, it went down. Our show rate is below our KPI. Our DQ rate is higher. Having a high DQ rate, it can mean 2 things. One, you're being a lazy as fuck and just DQing people, and that's exactly what we were doing. Or 2, your marketing just sucks, right? Or your marketing sucks. And our offer close rate was below our KPI. It just showed us this is on us. This all happened because of us. We only made $18,000 because of us, because of all the decisions that we made. It's not about I think I'm not making us. No. You see your bank account going up and down, but look at the numbers and make a decision based on the numbers, because that's all that matters. Numbers is what's key in this game. If you can't track your numbers, you can't improve something unless you know exactly what's going on. Unless you know exactly what's going on inside, like in your business, you can't improve it. You can't improve your fulfillment without knowing exactly what's your churn rate. What are the chances that you pays me for XYZ months? Like unless you have those numbers all written down, you can't improve something. Unless you have the exact number, you can't improve it. Because once you have a number, after a few months, you will see what is that number supposed to be every single time. Every single time, this is what's supposed to be. If it's under it, then I'm doing something wrong. If it's over it, it's great. I'm getting better. And over time, it should be getting better over time. Like it's just the way everything works. It's just the way the universe works. And I know you guys are realizing this right now. Like I'm showing you guys exactly like I'm not gonna tell you guys how to track your numbers. I'm just gonna show you guys exactly what it looks like to track your numbers and what happens if you make emotional decisions. Because that's all that matters. I don't want to go to show you like I don't want to make this course on about how you can basically do X Y Z. Like I want to show you guys exactly what happens if you don't do the right things, right? And if you don't track your numbers right, and if, like just having your numbers tracked, and trust me, it will make a big difference. But that's pretty much it on this part on how to track your numbers. So now we're gonna talk about so if you are running ads, right? You're running ads at the moment. I really want you guys to really realize this. This is gonna be key right here. Is that the most important thing is I want you guys to realize is cost per lead. Your cost per lead does not fucking matter. And why it doesn't matter? Because your cost per lead doesn't bring you money. What brings you money is your cost per qualified call and cost per acquisition. This is why I went really heavy on the numbers side. When I show you guys all the numbers, is because it's very important. Now, if I were to tell you guys I had a campaign up that was getting a lead for $80, what would you say? Like in your situation, in your niche, in your ads right now, if you're getting leads for $80, what would you do? Would you turn the ads off? Or would you say, okay, I like this ad. I'm gonna give it a few days, or would you say I'm gonna look at the numbers before I make a decision? I'm calling right now. You would probably just turn off the ad because you're like, I'm used to getting leads at maybe $20, maybe $15. Just because you're getting a lead at $80 doesn't mean that does not mean that's bad. If you actually track your numbers, you will say the campaign is amazing. When I had a campaign, I was spending when I had a campaign up and I had an $8 cost per lead, our average appointment cost on that was about $80. Because every single lead that came in that funnel was a high intent and qualified lead. It's all about the marketing. On the marketing side, yes, it was a little bit more like it was a higher cost in general, but it was intentional. I wanted to show a few things on the ads before they even see like our funnel, and it worked. Our cost per lead was $80. Every single lead that came in was actually booking a call, and every single lead that actually booked the call with us was extremely qualified and was high-end businesses. I'm talking top businesses that have a lot of money to spend. And if I were to tell you guys our average acquisition on or acquisition cost on that ad itself was $500. Normally, our cost per lead is $20 and our acquisition cost would be $500, but our cost per lead was $80 and the cost per qualified call was about $140 because obviously, offshore rate, and we were closing 1 out of 3 people at a ticket of $3,500 up front. And the reason why I'm saying this is that I want you guys to realize that cost per lead does not matter. All that really matters is your cost per qualified call and your cost per acquisition, right? And also your LTV. Those are the only numbers that matter. This is why you want to track those numbers because then that's when you have a broader insight of exactly what's going on in your ads, right? Cost per lead, yes, it's a good metric to look, but it's not really the best metric to look. You always want to look at your cost per lead and your cost per acquisition. And I'm really going in depth in this course because all the information I'm telling you guys right now is going to be something that eventually is going to pop up. If you're just doing outreach, you don't really know exactly what I'm talking about. But once you get into paid ads, you'll start to understand more. You'll start to understand exactly what I'm talking about here. So your cost per lead does not matter, and focus on your cost per qualified appointment and your cost per acquisition. That's the only thing that really matters. If you focus on your cost per lead, you'll just make really bad decisions. This is why I was going really heavy on why you have to track numbers. If you're not tracking numbers correctly, you're just not like, you just won't know what to do. You're just going to go based on emotions or exactly what's happening. Oh, this guy said no. Oh, this guy was broke, right? Yes, he was broke, but how about the other 5 people that you hopped on with? They were all right, but how much money did you make? Oh, you made a lot of money. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what you're feeling about the prospects. It's about what the numbers are saying, man. It's about what the numbers are saying on your screen. Are you making money? Are you making more money than before? Yes? Okay, then don't change a single thing. If you have something that's working or a funnel that's working, do not change a single thing in your model. Keep it exactly how it is. Because if you change it, that's when you start making emotional decisions. And guess what? That's where you start losing money and not making as much money as you were before. I'm telling you guys from lessons of I learned. I'm telling you guys from lessons of things that I learned over time. But yeah, that's pretty much really it on this part. Is focus on your cost per qualified call and your cost per acquisition. That's the only thing that really matters. So the whole next part of this course will be how to run paid ads. But the number one question you're probably asking yourself right now is, when should I run paid ads? And honestly, the only answer I can say to that is as soon as you can. You need about $1,500 to $2,000 at first to go into run paid ads. If you have that, I'll get into paid ads as soon as possible. And the reason why is because paid ads is the best thing of all time. You hear everyone telling you paid ads, paid ads, paid ads. It's because it's just amazing. It's what actually, like, you build a system that's so predictable, and also it's so scalable. Like, you can scale paid ads so easily. Like, I took my agency, so in the month of January, I did my first 9K month. I did 5K using cold outreach, basically, like, with SMS Plus and everything like that, and I made 4K on paid ads. Now, obviously, I spent about $1,500 to make $4,000. On the first month that you run paid ads, it may not be like I said, you may not make as much. It's because you just got into it. But as you just learn, and in this course, I kind of explain to you guys everything you need to know about paid ads. But basically, as long as you're making your money back or you're making a little bit more, that's fine. At first, it's fine because as long as you're not wasting money. Because remember, we're spending money, but we're getting it back over time. Like, you may only have $1,500 or maybe let's say like only $2,000 left, but you will be able to at least make that money back and gain experience over time. And then also, at one point, we'll just skyrocket. When I hit my first 9K month, I did 9K again, using only paid ads this time. And I did my first 37K month using paid ads. That's how scalable paid ads are. And as I said, I'll go over everything you need to know. Like, I'm literally, like, this whole next part of this course, I'm going to be explaining to you guys every single thing you need to know about paid ads. And that's honestly my specialty. And if you don't know, I've spent about $85,000 on paid ads in the past year. I spent $85,000 on my paid ads. Like, on my ad account, I spent $85,000. So everything I've learned after spending $85,000, I'm going to tell you guys every single thing that I learned in the past year. When you're running ads for your agency, there's two types of ads. There's an image ad and a video ad, and they both have their pros and cons. But if you're just getting into ads, there's a few things you have to understand, right? Is that you can do an image ad or a video ad, right? As I said, and the pros of an image ad is that one, it's easy to make, you can make them fast, and you can test a lot more images at once. Pretty much like because like it's very easy to make image ads. I'll show you guys how to make an image ad and also how to make a video ad. Like, it's very simple. But an image ad is basically like a very simple ad, a call out to audience, and then you offer, urgency, and call to action, right? And a video ad, I wouldn't do any video ads unless you have client results, because when you have client results is when you can really use those and put them in the ad so you can actually have some leverage, right? But before I even do that, is that I want you guys to really I want you guys to understand why an ad works, right? Like, why does an ad actually work, right? The number one thing about an ad is that you're basically reaching out to your audience saying, I have this to offer, right? And if your offer sucks, like, as I said this so many times in this whole course so far, is that if your offer sucks, you won't get any clicks. It's the foundation of your agency, like as I said. So if you don't have a really good offer, your ads are just not going to work. If you're the same as everybody else, your ads are just might work, like they might work a little bit. But if you're different than everybody else, your ads will crush. And it's exactly how I was able to I came over in the space on the ad side and I made an image ad. It worked amazing. But then when I made a video ad is when I crushed. Because then on video ads, you can really frame your whole agency like a whole different type. Because you have so much room to show why you're different, explain your system, and I actually added some client results. But for example, like image ads, it works great. It works great. I have one of my mentees, his name's Amir. He went from 0 to 15K in 60 days on image ads. There's not like anything special or like any special recipe on image ad. It's very simple, right? And to make an image ad, let's go to make one right now. Let's go to Canva. So, an image ad is very simple. What we need at first at the top, right here is, so let's say I'm going to pick a niche. We're going to do we'll do landscaping, right? For the sake of this ad, so this landscaping business owners, right? I'm not gonna go to edit anything else yet. And then our offer, we're gonna do a only pay per estimate from the middle. And then we're also gonna add a another headline. We'll put one contractor per area and tap learn more to apply. Okay, so I have pretty much all the words I'm going to use, but actually let me move this, all this, so then, whoops, go right here, and then we'll add another one, boom, boom. Doesn't look as fancy right now, but we'll make it look fancy. So this, we'll go ahead and basically trim it. So we're going to go use a horizon font. I always use horizon font on when it comes to ads. So we'll choose the horizon font, and then we'll make this 45. Perfect. Actually, see if you can fit a little bit more. Boom. And we'll also make this horizon font as well, and we'll make this 45. We could definitely squeeze out a lot more. And then this also be horizon font, but it'll be a lot smaller. So we'll do 30 on this one, and then this one will also be horizon the same size. We'll put it to 30. So we drag this at the bottom, and then drag this over here, and then we'll go ahead and just add a little bit more space, make this a lot bigger, and we'll bring this a little bit down. So this is pretty much what an image ad is. It's very simple. Just a call out, offer, and then having have urgency right here, and then having basically a call to action. Basically, you're telling them exactly what to do. But obviously, we want to make this look nice, you know. We don't want to just have it basically like be basic. Is we'll go right here and we'll go to the effects tab. We'll add like an outline here. This will also have it, or like we can have this one be, see, we put neon, and then we put like a green. Should change the background to black. Then we'll change all this text to white. Boom. P per estimate. It's a little bit bigger because we have more space to fit it. So like, it's really like, it's really simple. Or for me, like on the background, you can add like basically like your niche, like what, like a picture of them basically, like of like a landscaper. Like it's basically what an image ad is. Like it's really simple. And also how you can make it better is by making the offer better. Because then on an image ad, your offer really is key. Like without a good offer, it's not gonna work. But having a really good offer, I'm telling you now, you can print off this. You can print $5 to $8 leads with this ad. Like I know myself right now, I can launch this ad and I guarantee you guys I'll get leads for under $10. Just because the offer is very strong. Because having a strong offer, like all I need is eyeballs on it. Once you have eyeballs on the offer, you're just able to get like, everyone's going to click on it because it's actually an offer they one have never seen, or it's a no-brainer, right? And then we'll put that 150 per estimate. 150 per estimate. It's down. And then we'll just add we'll just make this one neon also. So green. There, and then we'll add an effect. Boom, and then put neon. Perfect. So this ad right here is crush. I'm not gonna, if you're in the landscaping niche, you can take this ad right now and launch it, and I guarantee you guys it'll work. But this is what an image ad is, right? An image ad is just having your offer, a call out, and then have an urgency and a call to action. It's very simple. And obviously you want to test out different image ads. And how you test out like a different image ad is I'll take this ad itself and I'll paste it here, and let me go and make this a little bit different. And how you can make it different is a different background color. So let's say like if you're launching this image ads, I'll make 3 of the same ad like this, and I'll make like a different background color, like a different font. Because all those small things really makes a big difference, because when they see like a different style, even if it's the same person, it looks different because it's not the same as the other one. Like it's really that simple. Like how you can make this one like, you know, a little bit better also. Let's say like you want to test like a different, we can test how it's removing the per close. I mean the per estimate. We're gonna remove that and see how it does, right? Or let's say, okay, I'm gonna try maybe lowering it, or let's say as low as as low as, let's say, or nine upper estimate. It's just like you just want to make this having a like just have a really good offer, and when you have a really good offer, it will just carry the whole like your whole ad. Like this ad itself is the same structure I use when I first say my first 37K month. This is the same exact structure I use, or just call out, offer, call to action. It's very simple. And now you're probably like, how do we make it's like a video ad, right? A video ad is a little more complex, right? A little more complex because now on a video ad, we basically want to go in and actually use all the testimonials we have and all like the proof that we have, right? So how I would build basically like a video ad is, let's say for example, so it's basically a hook and then offer and then have social proof, and then call to action, right? So how do you frame this exactly? Now I'm gonna give you guys a really good example, and we'll stay in the landscaping niche since you know. Good. So as a hook you want it to be a pain point, right? A hook has to be a pain point, basically something that that person is facing. It's a problem that so the exact person that you're trying to get on a call is facing. You want to go for like a deep pain point that really hurts them, because that's what's going to actually hook them, by having a good pain point. So let's put on the hook landscaping business owners. I cannot spell for my life. Landscaping business owners, are you tired of buying shared leads that never actually want, actually, you're tired of buying shared leads that never actually want to do the project. So basically, the pain point that I'm hitting with right now is that, as a landscaping owner, is that I'm tired of getting leads that don't actually want to buy my project. It's basically like I'm saying, like, look, I know you, like, it's like you're saying, like, look, I know you buy leads from XYZ and this happens, right? And then now we go to an offer. Offer is basically the body, basically like the main point of the ad, right? I will, we can say, me and my team will come into your business, and inject our pay per appointment system where you only pay me once you complete, you only pay me every time you get a qualified estimate. Can't spell for my life. That's actually one word I can never spell. So basically, me and my team will come into your business and inject our pay per appointment system where you only pay me every time you get a qualified estimate. That's a pretty good body right there. The same system helped XYZ landscaper go from maybe, let's say, 15 projects a month to 25 projects a month. So basically, why we added social proof is that we just said a whole lot of BS, right? We just said, a whole lot of like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you, and I only pay per close. But now, exactly what we're doing here is that we're putting in their mind that, look, I just told you that I'm gonna do this for you, but I'm gonna tell you that I'm actually showing you that actually works. Like, I took XYZ from XYZ to not doing XYZ, or XYZ he closed XYZ in XYZ time, XYZ closed in XYZ time. Like, just having basically like having, let's say, like social proof. And if you want, if you only have one, you can add it. But if you have more than one, you can add 2 or 3 in here. Like, you can add another one. And it also took, we pretty much understand the rest, right? Like, just adding social proof in there will bring you higher quality leads, because it's someone that, one, he knows what you have to offer, and 2, he trusts you more because he knows that you've done this before. Because every single ad they see is just the same person's going, oh, I'll do this for you. I'll do I guarantee you X amount of leads. Like, it's not like you're saying, look, you're only gonna pay me every time you get a qualified estimate. Pretty much already saying, like, look, I know what I'm doing, and I'm only gonna get paid once I deliver. And also at the same time, the same system helped XYZ, XYZ got from XYZ over to XYZ. And remember, even though you do a only pay per estimate, charge up front. Always charge up front. Never do free work unless you have no clients, and then you can do some free work to get some testimonials. That's the only way you do this free work, but always get up front, right? And then a call to action. Tap learn more. Speak with me or a member of my team to see if it's a good fit or something like that, right? Call to action is very simple. Just ask something very, like just like, what do you want them to do? But go to Tap learn more, so go to fill out a form, and book a call with you. It's really that simple, right? Call to action doesn't really matter as much, as long as doesn't make it simple for them to understand. But it's pretty much the body and your hook will be the most important thing. Your hook and your body will be the most important thing. If you have that down, just add some social proof in there. Add another one if you have one, and then have it go through the call to action. Trust me, you will see higher quality leads in general. You will see such a high the lead almost the lead quality will be so much better, because like as I said, like just like a lead that's way it's more warm, because he knows he knows that you can actually do what you said, and the offer is also really strong. But it's pretty much how you can make a video ad, like how to make a video ad. I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys right now a example ad that I ran myself that worked amazing. And also going to break it down exactly why it works, so you guys can get like an example of like an ad that actually works. But yeah, so I'm going to show you guys one of the ads that I ran for my agency, and this was honestly one of my best ads I've ran for So I'm going to show you guys an ad that I ran on my agency, and this is honestly one of the best ads I've ran. This ad has brought in over $80,000 in total, just this ad alone. That's how good it was. And first I'll play it, obviously, and then I'll go and break it down to you guys exactly what every part means and everything like that. So,
roofers, your salesmen are leaving you because you're not providing them with inbound leads. I scheduled 120 appointments for Leander's sales team with qualified homeowners, and they were able to close 57 contracts.
Only got 57 jobs in August and September.
They didn't have to knock on a single door because we implemented an AI roof radar that qualifies the lead for you and books them onto your calendar. I will install this system for completely free, and all I ask for is a $600 fee after you close the appointment. Yes, that's correct. You won't pay me until you close the job. So if you would like me to install the AI roof radar, tap learn more and book a call with me or one of my team members, and we'll show you exactly how it works.
Boom. You probably guys liked that ad. I hope you guys liked it. But right here, by the way, I just want to go and get this out the way. This is my partners and Caleb, the fucking sales demon. And I hadn't recorded this ad just because I wanted to try it out. But I normally use basically UGCs that I can go on Fiverr and Upwork to find them. But it starts off with basically roofers or your salesmen leaving you because you're not providing with them with inbound leads. Now that's a pain point. It's like a roofer, his salesmen are leaving him because they don't want to go knocking. Like they don't want to go knocking. It's the whole point of this ad is that his salesmen don't want to go knocking because it's not providing them with inbound leads. And I'm basically saying like, look, I know you have that problem and I have a solution for it. And then after that, I decided to add I have some social proof at first, right? Social proof saying I scheduled Leander 120 appointments, and he was able to close 57. He was able to close 57 contracts in the month of August and September, right? So, and why did I say that? It's because as soon as I said that, it went to the part where basically he says, and he didn't have to knock on a single door. Like I want you guys to really understand, like all the words I have in this ad are all for a reason, because I want to look different, and I want to prove to them, or by the pinpoint that I give them. Like for example, if you say, are you tired of buying shared leads in your body? What's going to add is that you don't do shared leads. Basically, like every single lead is exclusive. Like it's just all the small details that comes into the ad. And then over here, we basically have like the unique mechanism. A unique mechanism, it's in the marketing world, it's basically called a unique mechanism. It's basically you make yourself sound different. That's why it's like a video ad. Like you just have way more ways to basically like go in and sound basically different. And by how we did that is basically by saying there's like an AI roof radar, but it's Facebook ads, honestly. Like it's AI basically on Facebook, but it's Facebook ads. But we make it sound like it's something new. It's something new they never heard of before. It qualifies homeowners, and it books them onto their calendar. Who books onto their calendar? A caller, right? He goes to have an AI that call the leads also. There's a lot of basically a lot of softwares you can do that with. But I have basically like in-person callers that I use myself because I just saw like just way better than AI. And then we showed the proof. I showed the proof that he closed basically like he closed 57 contracts in August and September. And then at the end, just a call to action. So if you like to install a system, you go tap learn more to book a call with me or a member of my team. Oh, I'll show you exactly how it works. Like it's very simple, guys. Like a video ad is very easy to do, but you have to make it right. It has to flow right and actually has to make sense because your whole goal here is to sell the prospect on tapping that learn more button and booking a call. That's your only goal with a video ad or any type of advertisements. But yeah. So when it comes to paid ads, it's also another part called audience testing, right? And what I want you guys to realize is that your ad can perform 100 times better if it had the right pocket, right? Yes, you can make the best looking ad, but also a great way to lower your cost per lead and cost per appointment, cost per qualified appointment, and pretty much all your numbers is by having the ad in the right pocket. This is one thing I do every time I'm launching a new ad, and exactly what I do at scale is that you want to launch ads in every single pocket possible. And these are the pockets I run. So we'll start off with audiences that you can test. A lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is basically a list of of people that one have booked a call with you, or two have closed. It really depends how big your list is. If you have about, let's say, if you reach about 80 to 100 clients, you can take all those names and phone numbers and put it into Facebook, and you're pretty much telling Facebook find people exactly like this, because those people that have bought your services, it's good because it means that it's a list of people that are buyers, like they pretty much buy these services, right? Or you can put a list of all your qualified calls. If you have about 100, like I'll just say that you have to have a minimum of 100 people in that list, right? If we even try a lookalike audience. So if you have 100 basically homeowners, 100 qualified calls, you can take that list, you can put it inside of Facebook Ads Manager, and it'll go ahead and find people that are exactly like that. If you give it a list of people that have money, or find the people that have money. And it'll go and show those as the people that have the money. Or let's say, if you show the clients, like you just like have a list of people that you want it to look like. If you still want like to look like audience, what you can do also is that you can run a like a list of like it would just be like a list of roofers, just basically random roofers, so you can kind of help basically Facebook find your like your right audience pocket. But I would not do like the lookalike audience unless you have 80 to 100 clients. Like I'm not saying like active, but like pretty much I've signed 80 to 100 clients, and then I'll take that list and put it inside a lookalike, or until you have 80 to 100 qualified calls that were taken. Now, one interest targeting. What this is on Facebook, you put one interest in the targeting, only one. Basically, like for example, I'll give you guys an example. Like in the roofing industry, an interest targeting that I did was basically roof shingle. Just have basically just one interest in there, right? I still do it to this day. Honestly, it's probably like one of my favorite pockets. It works great. I just dropped you guys my favorite pocket. It's called roof shingle. If you put roof shingle in Ads Manager, you see that interest pocket. Another really good one is broad. And broad is basically you just have no interest on there, absolutely nothing. All you have is the age and gender. Obviously, you want to put your gender if you're a male. Like if 99% of people that you're trying to get is male, you want to put male. It's kind of common sense. And age, obviously, I put like the minimum age that like that person can be. Like for example, like in my industry, in my niche, I always put 25. I put 25 years old. That's like the age I put for a minimum. And so a broad is pretty much having everything broad, having like the AI thing off too, just completely broad, and letting Facebook find a pocket for you. Now, another one would be a big interest stack. A big interest stack is basically where you just add everything that is related to your niche. So any interest that is related to your niche, you add it all. You could possibly add like 19 to 20. You have an audience size of maybe 80 million. Just anything that's interested, like anything that relates to your niche, add it in there. It's pretty much like a big interest stack. It works great. It works amazing. And our last one will be broad A plus. And broad A plus is having everything broad, but having the AI thing on. Like the AI it's called basically Advantage Plus. That's exactly what it's called, but I call it broad A plus because it's pretty much the same thing. But having that also It works amazing. And honestly, this is probably gonna be the best pocket, especially if it's your first time running ads. I'll just do broad A plus or broad. I wouldn't try like the one that you're starting to get. I'll just do the broad. Just let Facebook kind of just find it for you. But I just test more creatives. I'll start basically like a different pockets. And how I launch ads is that, let's say I made a new video ad, right? I made a new video ad. What I'll do is I'll launch it in my top 3 best pockets. At first, in my top 3 best pockets, let's say if I'm planning on spending $100 a day on that ad, I'll put $100 a day on each pocket, so that'll be about $300 a day. And I know that might scare you. Oh, I don't want to spend $300 a day already. It's just for 1 or 2 days. We just want to see if the ad is working and where it's working the best. After a day or two, you just shave it off and turn off what's not working and keep the best one on. And yeah, that's pretty much really it if it comes to audience testing. And as you do it more, you kind of get better at it. But just make sure that you are testing the audiences. And mostly add like in the right pockets. If you're just running one ad, I'll just do broad or broad A plus. I wouldn't go ahead and try like the all different types of basically audiences. But it's more like if you're doing, let's say, about 10 to maybe 15K a month, or like you're spending 8 to 10K a month, especially on ads, I'll definitely do audience testing. But yeah, that's a great way to go in and lower your cost per acquisition right there. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to set up your ad account. And I know you guys just learned about audience pockets and pretty much how to make ads and everything like that. So I'll show you guys how to set up the ad, and I'll kind of show you guys like the broad A plus I was talking about. So obviously you'll type create campaign, and obviously we want leads. We don't want awareness. We don't want traffic. We don't want engagement. We want leads. Leads is what's going to bring the money in, right? Type continue, and then manual leads campaign right there. Never listen to Facebook. That's how you put manual leads campaign. I'm not going to name it, but you can go to name the campaign whatever you want. But ideally, I'll put like basically like something I kind of remind you of exactly like what ad it is, and basically like what pocket, or like that's like what type of ad you're running, like basically your offer, something like that. So on the campaign side, we're not going to touch a single thing here. Just keep it exactly how it is. Buying type auction and campaign objective obviously is leads. Now on the ad set side, or conversion location, always going to be instant form unless you're doing a landing page. But honestly, I don't recommend doing a landing page. I've always been doing lead forms, and that's me after me spending $83,000, actually $85,000 on ads. I always do lead form, because a landing page, I don't see the point of it, because at the end of the day, they just a lower conversion. Yes, you can get higher quality leads, but there's a lot of different ways that you can get high quality leads that I already explained on like the video ads and everything like that. To the point that just do an instant form. And over here, you choose a Facebook page that you already made. If you don't already have one, you gotta make a Facebook page. It's very easy. Performance goal is gonna be maximum number of leads, right? Just the maximum number of leads that obviously we can get. We want as many leads as possible, right? Now, if let's say you're launching the same offer, the same body, so basically you're doing the same offer and same body and same call to action. The only things that are different are hooks, because remember, you also want to test hooks out. If you're launching an ad, like a video ad, I'll always test out a few different types of, like 4 different hooks. If you're doing an image ad, as I showed you guys how to make an image ad, if you made different variations of the same ad, then turn on the dynamic creative. If you didn't, make basically separate ads every single time for each creative. So I'm turning on dynamic creative just for the sake of this video. And then your daily budget, if you're doing dynamic creative, for every one creative that you put in there, you want it to be at least $10 a budget. And my recommendation, if you're always starting out, will be to start at $50 a day. That's gonna be the best number to start on Facebook. So put $50 a day. That's why I say you need at least $1,500 to go and start ads. On location, if they're looking in the USA, you want to keep it USA. If let's say you're targeting the USA and the UK market, or USA and UK and Australia, you just add all of it here. But ideally, you want to keep it nationwide. Don't just put like a few states, but it's nationwide. Now, once you put that, see, it'll automatically be on broad A plus. If it's your first time you're running ads, I'll just keep it on broad A plus, or you can go like the normal one. And how you switch to the normal one, you tap to switch to original audience options, use original audience, and then right here, you're gonna set the age, right? You're gonna put the minimum age that your person, that you're trying to get. If you're like in detailing or something like that, I'll keep it at 18. Obviously, there's 18-year-old detailers, but I'm in the roofing, so I do a 25 minimum, because that's like the minimum that I see, Like I don't see any roofer being 18 years old. Even 25 is kind of low, but obviously there's been a few clients that we had that are like maybe 24 or something like that. So keep it like that. And then on gender, obviously, you know, we're targeting men here. You know, not like any women. You know, because I'm not saying there's no women. You know, who can be a roofer, but basically what I'm saying is that 99% of them are men. So, but yeah, after that, I'll keep the placement thing exactly how it is. I'll let Facebook test it out for you. Now on the ad side, this is where we pretty much add your copy. Add your copy right here, adding a headline, and a copy is pretty much right here in the primary text. It's just what do you do, like like what do you do? Like it's just really like I'll just write down exactly what your service is, how you get the leads, how you qualify leads, what you offer. Basically like have basically a long text on basically like your offer. And to be honest, I'm gonna show you guys right now. Let's go to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to make. Okay, so write me a primary text for my Facebook ad. I run a landscaping, say landscaping agency. I generate my clients 50 leads a month, and they only pay me per estimate. We keep the same offer throughout the course so you can kind of explain. Boom. This is a very simple ad right here. I mean, a very simple, what's it called? Copy. We're going to add that right here. And boom. And then headline. On the headline, you can just honestly just add like your niche, if it's landscaping, or you can just put only pay per estimate. The headline is really not that important. It's really just about the ad and your offer. That's what like it's what's going to carry your ad. It's just like exactly what your ad has, a little bit of primary text, and it's mostly just going to be exactly like the headline won't really matter. Only pay per estimate. Tap select images, and then right here is where you can go ahead and I'm just gonna add an image for like the time slot. It's like time to send, but right here is basically like where you add like your actual ad. I just put this one picture that I took in New York. That's actually when I went to WAP, and it actually flew us out, put us on the billboard. It's kind of cool. But anyways, and then have a call to action. Always have it be I'll learn more, and then you need a lead form, right? I'm gonna create a lead form. So basically, how you have your lead form set up is, let me show you guys exactly. So we'll choose this one right here. I'll tap duplicate. And at first, this how it be like this. This is basically very short. Have a bit of more volume, optimize, and then for your intro, you can add a hey there. You can fill the info down below. And we'll text exactly how it works. And then for your questions, you can add basically. So if you're just starting out, I would not add any questions. Like really, I'll kind of I guess like I'll launch the ad, and as you get data back, as you find out like okay, I'm getting a lot of busy salesmen in, and then I'll add a like I only have this question here because we don't work with salesmen. It just does not really make sense for salesmen in general. They're just really like like can't afford our services. But I have just basically one question if you want, just kind of asking basically do you own like a landscaping business? Just like a basic example, and then more description basically like this, and then obviously like the phone number and email and full name. How you basically be autofill. Privacy policy, you can add your website here, or like you can add like a doc that if we can go and ChatGPT make a basic like a doc that has like a basic like privacy policy, and then for ending, you just add a so pretty much how we had it for our ending is basically as one last step, basically tell them now to go to my account, basically like your actual calendar link, right? After they fill out their information, then we give them access to go and book a call with us. So basically, you go tap the link, send them to basically like a landing page. I'll show you exactly what that looks like actually. So it's basically a landing page, basically like a calendar. They're gonna choose a date and time that works best for them. I don't know why the calendar's not working. Anyways, let me go ahead and go back. I should go ahead and fix that actually. No idea why that's happening. So, and I have a call to action for basically lock spot. Be the call to action. And yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much how you set up a ad account. It's very simple. And on the ad set level, let me show you guys exactly where to. So right here, if you tap edit, is where you can add the interest targeting. Where I was saying, remember I was saying like the roof shingle, or let's say like we're in landscaping, so we'll put landscaping. See what pops up. So for interest, landscaping, boom, and then it'll show us a lot more interests that we can pretty much use, right? For like a big interest stack, we're gonna add as much, as many interests as possible in here that actually makes sense for that, like for that niche. Or we can decide to like just only one for like the one interest, basically, for target just one, or you can keep it broad and it's how it's completely open. But yeah, that's pretty much how you set up an ad account. It's pretty easy. It's really simple, and yeah. So now the prospect, he sees your ad, or my drawing is complete shit. But okay, he sees your ad right here. He sees your ad, right? Right when he sees your ad, or let's say if you did a cold call, just anything how you got them on the how you booked them onto your calendar. So he sees your ad, he goes to a lead form. So basically a lead form. Once he goes to a lead form, he's taken to a landing page. He books a call. And as soon as he books a call, this is where the very important, it's very important from here. After he books a call, he's taken to a landing page, right? A landing page where basically now, over here, we have a 5-minute VSL. Remember, 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, and I'll explain why. A 5-minute VSL, and then here, just straight testimonials, results, images, just a lot of things that just prove like everything you just said in this video, it proves you. Like, you want the prospect to know who you are and that you are that nigga. like you are him. I don't know what happened there, but you are him in this market and you made people a lot of money. Now, even though you did this, what goes on next from here all the way to the sales call is also very important. So from here all the way to the sales call, what you want to do is, one, over here, make sure he watched this VSL. Even though he booked the call, doesn't mean he watched it. Make sure he watched his VSL. If he says, yes, I watched it, over here, you send him results. A different testimony, or let's say a same one that's already on the page. Because remember, even, because like he was on the page, it does not mean that he watched it, like he started testimonials. Over here, like let's say about a few hours after, you send him like a testimonial video, like a video for him to see, just one. After that, in the morning, let's say it's called at 4 p.m. In the morning, over here, you send him another testimonial. After send him another testimonial, over here, a screenshot of someone saying, I'm very happy. And then now, you just want to wait to right here, 45 minutes before the call, you want to make a whole new base, like a landing page, where it's just results, just a whole bunch of shit. Just a whole bunch of screenshots, just a lot of shit, because then it'll take him maybe 5 to 10 minutes to watch that, and in 30 minutes he's gonna talk to you, he's gonna hop on, he's gonna, oh yeah, I just saw his page and this guy's a G. He knows what he's talking about. If you don't have results, just add as many as possible. As many screenshots. Just anything that proves whatever you're selling actually works. If it ain't fucking Google ads or maybe like Facebook ads, anything that you're doing actually works, that's what you're gonna put there. Now, you're probably asking, what is the 5-minute VSL? Now in this VSL, all we want to do here is, in the first 2 minutes, basically start off by saying, I know you've seen 100, because remember, the guy who booked the call with you, he probably saw 100 VSLs. Like, a VSL is known now. Like, it's known in this market now. Like, everyone's like, oh, yep, a VSL, yep, I know what that is, right? You start off by saying, I know you've seen these 100 times, and exactly what you want to do is that you want to basically incentivize us to actually watch them. Like, on the thumbnail, say, if you watch this, we'll give you fucking $20 off if you select the secret word, and just add $20 on top of your monthly retainer, or let's say you offer a setup fee, whatever you're fucking selling. But first 2 minutes, you basically start off by, I know you've seen this 100 times, blah, blah, and then you get into, what's it called? Into your offer, and then say, I'm only offering this because I did this for this. A lot of testament over here, you want to say in the video. Show them screenshots. Say, you see this guy right here? He went from XY to XYZ. I did XY for this guy. I'll put about 5 to 10. But remember, I'll go through that shit quick. on the testimonial side, you want to last about 30 seconds in there, right? Once you get there, you want to talk about everything you know about them. What they bought, all the problems they're facing, you know, oh, you bought this before, and then you're going to explain them, this is why it didn't work. Because this is exactly what they did. Or let's say you're inside a niche that does basically leads only, say yeah, because they only provide you with leads, but only provide you leads, they don't really care about your leads, they have no idea what's going on with the leads, they have basically no communication, their ads are basically like baiting and scams, and then say, this is how we're different. Seem very different in the market. And then you'll go, okay, I know you bought this, but here, we're actually gonna handle the leads for you because we know how to handle leads. We've been doing this for, you know, XYZ time. We have a XYZ booking percentage. It's way higher than basically you actually handling them. We don't run beta yet. Basically, everything you said that was bad, you say, okay, this is what we do because I'm fixing all the problems that you faced in the past, and this is the new product that actually works and is actually gonna deliver. And then as soon as you go through that, you basically your secret word, like the incentive that you have, like on the thumbnail, say, hey, if you say XYZ word on a sales call, you get XYZ off, right? After you tell them how to what's it called? After you tell them, oh, I'm blanking right now. Oopsies. Yeah. After you tell them how your system works and why your system is way better than basically like, you know, everybody else, and then from there you're going to end the video right there. In 5 minutes, you have just made so much progress. And the reason why is because remember, in the market that we're in right now, in the market that we are in the SMMA or just any market, we all have trust issues. They have trust issues. They don't want to buy, like, they see everything as a scam because they have been scammed themselves. Like, let's tell you why. People see things as a scam because of experiences in the past. If you buy a whole bunch of courses and you got scammed, you're not going to buy another course unless you for sure know it works. And this is why you bombard them with a whole lot of testimonials before even a sales call. And trust me, it makes a big difference. I'm about to show you guys right now the 5-minute VSL framework. This is the same framework that I still use to this day, and it works amazing. And I know a lot of agency owners that use all these long 20-minute VSLs. Is that the main reason why we do this is because you have to realize they have seen these videos before. They have seen VSLs before. It's not like a new thing where, like, you know, it's the first time seeing it. No, they have seen it. Because remember, this space has been here for so long that they have seen so many VSLs, bro. So this VSL right here, I'm telling you guys right now, increase your close rate from 20 to the first time we implement it, we went from a 20% close rate to about a 35%, and then average about 27%. But then in 1 month where we actually went and tweaked the VSL and actually made it a lot better, a close rate went to 50% in that month. It was the month of October. So the 5-minute VSL, like the whole framework, is you address the elephant in the room, what they experienced in the past, and why you're different. That's all that matters. This is all you have to really like put in their minds. And you're probably wondering right now, okay, how do I address the elephant in the room? Addressing the elephant in the room is basically you want to start off the VSL by a good way to start it actually is by, let's say you kind of go and be like, look, I know you've seen this, 100 times. And a good thing that the thing I read is that we actually incentivize them to watch the VSL. So basically we said if you watch this, you get XYZ. If you want to get like XYZ off your first month retainer, there's gonna be like a secret word you can add like the and. I'll tell you guys exactly where to add that. But addressing the elephant in the room is that you basically want to start off with just proof. Proof. That's all that matters. You just want to show them that basically you're that guy. You are that guy at this. Like, no matter how I look, no matter who I am, this is why, I'm here. Because I'm really good at this. I did this for this. And this part, I'll keep this no more than 1 minute. No more than 1 minute. I did like 45 seconds. And then you want to go into everything that I've experienced in the past. You should know this. You should know your industry enough to know everything that I've actually experienced. So for example, like a person might have experienced, let's say he bought leads from here, he bought leads from here, he bought leads from here. This is exactly what happened when he bought leads from here. This is exactly what happened when he bought leads from here. This is exactly what happens when he gets share leads. This is exactly what happens when they run XYZ type of ads. Like, you want to talk about all the bad stuff that they probably experienced in the past. Like, I know you bought leads from this guy, or I know you bought marketing from this guy, and this is why it didn't work. Because he ran XYZ basic ads, blah, blah, blah. Like, explain why it didn't work in their head. So then they already see, they see you as like, damn, like he knows I did this in the past and he's telling me why it didn't work. And damn, he's actually right. This is why it didn't work. Like, for example, what we had in our VSL is that we said, look, I know you bought ads before. It's like a lead service, and they promised you, XYZ guarantee. And then as soon as they onboarded you, they ran this BS ads that say XYZ price for a new roof. And then what's that? What happened? You got low quality leads that had no intent and did not really care about the quality, right? And guess what? That's exactly what happened to them. So they're like, damn, like he knows actually happened. Or also, I know you bought leads from this guy, and guess what? You didn't like him because it's all shared leads and they don't answer their phones. Like, damn, like he's right. Like I did buy from this guy and it didn't work. And then you go to, well, I'm gonna tell you exactly why we're different, right? And then everything that you just talked about. So only talk about the bad stuff that for sure that you're different. Okay, that's why it exactly didn't work. It's like why we're different. One, we don't run those BS ads. We actually do this to get you to actually qualify leads that actually want to buy a roof that actually have damage. And then two, like for example, like the share leads one. And two, I know you bought share leads in the past, but I'm telling you right now that every single lead that we send to you is exclusive and only sent to you. So pretty much, you just talked about all the bad stuff that he experienced and the things that he does want to buy again. Now you're saying everything that you experienced, I fixed that, and this is what I have, and this is like how I do it. And everything that happened in the past, it's not gonna happen again, pretty much. So now you seem different and you seem new. That's the whole point of it. Now you seem actually basically different and you seem actually new to like just like the industry, right? And then after the while you're different, if you did the basically like incentivized thing, you can go ahead and add the keyword, but only add the keyword after like you told them everything they want to hear. Then at the end, you're going to end it off by just saying, look, I appreciate watching this video and I'll talk to you on your call. Well, yeah. And obviously like you can go and say like if you have any questions, but all that really matters is exactly like these three things right here. It's really all that matters. Like it's really all that matters. Having these three things out here is what's gonna actually going to sell the prospect before they even hop on a call with you. Because one, they already know you're that guy at ads, at Google Ads, whatever your service. They already know you are that guy. And two, they know that you know exactly what happened last time they bought the things. And three, you find a solution to fix everything. If they know all those three things and you send them a lot of testimonials and you follow the and follow the pre-call SOP, you will have no issue closing. You should be closing at a higher percentage. And if you don't believe me, I want you guys to go create this, and I want you guys to track your close rate right now and go create this and add it to your funnel and see exactly how big of a difference it makes. Your calls are like as soon as you hop on a Zoom call, you notice a whole different vibe. It's a whole different vibe. It's someone that like he trusts you. It's so much easier to close them. Those people are so easy to close. But yeah, that's pretty much it on a 5-minute VSL framework. But yeah. So this is the pre-call SOP, right? I kind of already went over this a little bit on that video with the whiteboard, but I want to go more in depth. Like it's more in depth on a few things, right? So if you follow this process, this is how we're able to sell people before they even talk to us. Like before they even talk to us, this is how they already like want to buy from us. Like they already have the cards ready. Because at the end of the day, if you can build as much trust before the call, when he hops on a call, he kind of already knows you and kind of already trusts you. Like he kind of is like his guard is down, and that's how you can close deals a lot easier. So when you get a new appointment every single time, you want to go ahead and call and confirm it. It'll be an intro phone call pretty much. And on that call, all you're really doing is introducing yourself, building some rapport, and if you have a VSL implemented, if you already have one implemented, you want to go ahead and ask them if they watched the VSL. If they haven't watched it, they want to go and remind them that if they do, they pretty much get a free replacement or like just like have a incentive, right? It's exactly what we talked about in the VSL video, how to create a 5-minute killer VSL. But our incentive that I have is that if they watch it, they get a free replacement because of the offer that we ran. We're able to basically offer this without us basically like actually taking a loss, right? And then you also want to make sure that they're going to be at the desk and have at least 4 or 5 minutes blocked off, because you don't want to block up a whole slot on your calendar and then you hop on the call and the guy tells you I have 5 minutes or I have 10 minutes, go tell me what you do. You want to make sure it's time that works for them, and it'll be time that they will be at home or somewhere that has, a stable connection. Because remember, it's your call. You want all the frame. If you let them choose when they want to take the call or exactly what they're doing, like you want to have all the frame, because at the end of the day, he needs you. Yes, you need him for the money, but he needs you more than you need him. Like remember, you're solving a problem that he has, and you have the solution to it, right? Now, every time every time you get a appointment, don't only just rely on your reminders, right? Actually send like a text message from your phone, like a personal SMS, like an iMessage text, and be there for them, right? You send more social proof as we talked about, and if they haven't answered your confirmation call, pretty much the intro call, you send them a text. Like for example, say example right now, hey, name is Caleb. We haven't got a we haven't gotten a confirmation for a Zoom meeting at the time. Are we still good to go? Right? A couple hours before, double check if they actually have the Zoom link for them. Just build some rapport. Like, just be a human. Because remember, these people, every time they book a call, all they get is just a lot of automations that are sent to them and this and this. Just be there for them, man. Just actually like be like a normal person. Remember, he's so used to like him getting automated SMSs every single day. Be different. Show that you, my God, show that you care about the meeting, right? And like this is like a really good example right here. As you can see, text I sent out, and then obviously a go high level automation I sent 2 hours before, asking them to basically a reminder to be at the desk, basically like a stable connection. You don't have to add a desk part. It's just that for us that we just saw us asking them being at the desk, just increase their show rate in general. And 4 or 5 minutes before, you would remind them to watch the VSL. A VSL is really important. I just talked about in the VSL video, like a VSL can really change. It can really change your whole sales process just because of how good your VSL is, right? And then a go of automation 10 minutes before, obviously after you send a Zoom link out. I mean, because in case they don't already have it, we basically send it about 10 minutes before, so it goes at the top of their inbox. Now, you guys already have the call SOP. Now, just because you hopped on a sales call with him and he said, no, I didn't buy yet, it doesn't mean it's done, man. It doesn't mean you still can't get the deals. I want you guys to realize that I think at least 40 to 50% of our deals came after calls. And it's by having a post-call SOP, right? A post-call SOP is pretty much what you do after the sales call, right? This whole follow-up process here, it goes for a whole month and a half, right? Probably send them a text message. Hey, is there anything that, and I have to explain to you? Let's say more testimonials. Let's say if you have like a new client that he came on board at the same time as him, and let's say maybe 2 weeks after he's doing amazing, you can send him it's like a Loom video saying, hey, look, XYZ, this is the XYZ client. I actually had a call with him at the same time that you hopped on, and he ended up going forward. But he ended up going forward, and 2 weeks in, he already got XYZ. That'll make him feel like, damn, like if I started this exactly 2 weeks ago, I would have the same results that this guy has. Like, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, right? You're sending gifts, you're sending testimonials. Even if they're ghosting you, keep following up with name, memes, more memes. The best one we like to use is the Kevin Hart one. The Kevin Hart one. You know the one that he kind of goes like that, like him holding the mic. Like, just keep following up with that person. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, deals coming. Like, I'm telling you guys, I think we probably have processed over 150 grand just by having a post call SOP. Following up after the call. When you follow up after the call, there's so much money that's being left on the table. I know so many interns that don't follow up after the call. Just because he told you no on the sales call doesn't mean it's not done. No, it's not done. Follow up after the sales call. I'm telling you guys right now, follow up. Follow up is key in every single industry. Like, if you're in sales or you understand sales, follow up is key, and that's the most important part. But yeah, it's pretty much really how you're going to sell your prospects before a Zoom call right here, and what you do after you hop on a sales call with them. Okay, so why should someone buy your services? And it's one thing I have to really realize is, why should somebody buy your services? Because remember, like, you're in an industry right now where basically there's a lot of people. It's not just you. You have a lot of competition. And you know that yourself, you have a lot of competition. And it's about, like, how do I get those guys to pay me? Like, how do you get those people to, buy your services and not go to your other competitors? And how you do that is by being different. Because, like, in the whole SMMA space, right, is just a bunch of people, a bunch of kids that just kind of come into the space and just make some BS guarantees. They increase the guarantee. They just make it way too complicated. Like, they ruin it for us, And I'm not saying that's you or something like that. Is that you have to realize is that people come into space and they throw crazy guarantees and they don't fulfill for them. And then when they don't fulfill for them, what happens exactly? People don't want to buy anymore because they have been burnt. Like if you've been burnt a few times, are you gonna want to buy the same thing again? No. So if they don't want to buy it again, how do you get them to pay you? That's what's your sales process is about. Because your whole sales process is that you want the prospect to be bought into you before he even talks to you. And how he does that, I just went over that right now in the last video, is that you just have to build trust. Because I want you guys to realize that in the state that we're in right now, is that there's a big trust recession. I mean, a big trust recession. Sorry. But it's everywhere. Like in every industry right now, there's a big trust, like a big trust aspect. But how you overcome that trust is proof. Proof overcomes everything. Like I can't really, like guarantee you anything in life, but what I can guarantee you is that I did this for XYZ and I did this for XYZ. I'm not guaranteed I can do it for you, but I can guarantee you that I did it for basically like a few people, right? And that's what builds the trust. Is that people have been burned so many times, especially in every single niche. There's not really any niche you can go into that they have not been burned. They have been burned pretty much everything. But the thing is that you just have to overcome that. Overcome that thinking for them. And how you do that is with proof. And if you don't have any clients, if you're at this stage of the course right now and you don't have any clients, what I would recommend you to do is work for free. Get a few clients on a few $100 up front and get some proof. Like, yes, you're doing free work or you're not really, actually getting paid at the moment, but it's not about that. It's about the future. Like, I want you guys to like not think about quick cat. I'm gonna be honest with you. You'll go out there and like you're not gonna really make money. You're not gonna make money at first because you don't have the conviction in your own self that you can actually do it. Like you don't have the actual deep down you know yourself that I don't really know how to run ads. Like deep down I don't really know how to run ads, and it's fine. Like it's just way nothing wrong with that. It's fine. You learn over time. When I first started this, you think I knew how to run? Like, I did not know how to run ads. You think I knew how to run ads? Me? Dude, I didn't know what ads manager was. I didn't even really know you can run ads on Facebook. I thought it was like like an ad company that kind of, it's like a brand deal with Facebook. Like, I don't really know anything about that. But you just learn over time. It's just all a time. Like, it's just patience, guys. Patience. Just time is what's going to build you those skills. You learn over time. You learn how to fulfill over time. You learn how to close better over time. You learn how to, actually be good at marketing over time. You learn how to set appointments over time. Just learn over time. A year ago, I was not this good at ads. A year ago, I looked back at my old ads a year ago. Now I'm just like, dude, what the fuck was I doing? Even though I was making money, but it's more like, what the fuck was I doing? Because you just get better over time. Over time, you just see your progress. You see yourself getting better, and it's a long game. It's not like it's not like a get rich quick. I'm not gonna tell you that you're gonna make $100,000 in a month. No, but I can guarantee you that if you actually actually stick to it, you will make whatever you want to make. If you want to make $100K a month with agency, you'll do it. If you want to make at least $50K a month with agency, you'll do it. If you want to make $1 million a month, it's hard. It's hard to build an agency to $1 million a month. But if you really wanted to do it, you would do it. It's just that. And I guess the only reason why you don't have you don't have what you want right now in the agency side, like I'm not saying I'm not have any material things, but the only reason why you're not at let's say 50K a month or 100K a month or 20K a month or 10K a month is because you don't have the right information. If you had the right information, you will be there. If you knew how to make 10K a month of SMMA, you will be making 10K a month of SMMA. It's just the way it is. It's the way life is. If you know how to shoot basketballs, you'll be able to shoot basketballs. If you don't know how to shoot basketballs, you won't be able to, yes, you can say I can shoot basketballs, but you can't really shoot. So just trust yourself, guys. Just trust yourself, and deep down, like you can do it. It's gonna be hard, you know. As I said this before, like it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy. But if you really just actually take everything and learn from this, you will be able to do it. You know, I thank myself for the trenches. Like as I said, going from 0 to 10K is gonna be way harder than going from 10K to wherever else you want to, like wherever else you want to go. It's gonna be way easier. 0 to 10K is the hardest part. If you're between 0 and 10K, that's the hardest part. After you pass that, everything just gets a lot easier. Everything gets a lot easier, especially when you start hiring team members. Everything gets easier because now you're actually able to focus on building the business and like actually work on the business and not in the business. But yeah, like it's really just that. Like so where's the whole point of this part? And let's go get to the next part.
So help them first, close them second. So I know you probably hear this all the time, right? You hear from all the sales gurus and you think, yeah, I know that. Of course, we want to help the prospect. That's the goal. But at the end of the day, you still always have in the back of your mind, like, man, like I missed that deal. Like I need that money. I need the money. And especially if you're in the starting stages of your agency and you're basically, because this is something that I understand very well because I'm an agency. I am in the agency space. I'm not a salesman. I used to do sales. And obviously it's a little bit different, but when you're not closing for your agency, you're fucked, right? Because if you're somebody that just quit their job and is focusing more on their agency, and then you're a little bit worried because you're not closing as many deals as you thought you would, or at least not as fast. Or if you're somebody that like has a lot of pressure from their parents because you're trying to quit school, but your agency's not doing enough money, so you have to close deals, so you're more attached to the sales. That's what we call it in sales, is when you're too attached. It's hard. So trust me, I know, right? And I know. And I'm at a point where, I moved out of my parents' house. I bought my dream car. I'm at a point where I'm comfortable enough with my agency and with my ability to sell, where I know that if all went to shit, like I can close a client tomorrow. We know how to run ads, right? We know what our avatar wants. We know how to market it to them. We know how to sell them on it, and we know how to fulfill for them. So I know I'd be fine, but you guys don't have that same confidence, that same belief, because that's why you're here, right? That's why you're in this course, to learn from me. And that's where I was 9 months ago when I was doing $0,000 a month with my agency, and I was just cold calling and not running ads and not knowing what I was doing. But the number one thing you got to learn is like, as attached as you may feel, you have to be detached, right? That's the number one rule. Is like, you have to really come across. If you have to fake it till you make it, then that's what you have to do. But you have to come across like you have a lot of clients, you have a lot of people asking for your help, you have too much going on. You're an expert, you're an authority, so you don't have a ton of time for this or for this BS or whatever. And one of the biggest things that helps you have that detachment is having a help them first mindset, right? So that's something that I learned and that was really pushed on a lot when I was in Jeremy Miner's coaching program and his mentorship. Is like, if you can't go wrong, you can never go wrong if like the number one priority is like, how can I help this person? So what that allows you to do is it allows you to be more detached from the close, because you're not there to close them and take their money and win. You're there to help them win, right? You're there to help hold them accountable to just make a decision, right? You're not there to hold them accountable to say yes. You're there to hold them accountable to make a decision, right? And to help them realize that like the problem can get a lot worse if we don't do anything, and the cost of inaction, which I'm going to talk a lot about in one of the next things that unlock. I'm not too familiar with school, so I don't really know like what that's called, but yeah, the point being, like, if you're there to help them, the intention behind your questions are going to be much more genuine, right? They're actually going to feel like they're cared about. Like if you were to ask a consequence question, or a problem awareness question, and it's like, well, like, why do you feel like, XYZ marketing or XYZ lead gen isn't necessarily getting you to XYZ goal as fast as you'd like it to, right? Like the tone, it comes across like why do you feel it's not really working, right? It comes across like you care, ultimately, and that's the ultimate thing. So they're gonna answer like you care, not answer you like oh, he's just a salesman trying to trap me. And that's probably what a lot of you guys get, because the truth is like you're probably in a really saturated niche where they hopped on a ton of calls with a ton of kids asking them, well, how does that make you feel after watching like 5 Jeremy Minor videos, right? So they know what you're doing, they know what you're saying, they know why you're asking it. And the reason they have a bad impression on that is because all they've been all the kids that have tried to close them are doing exactly that. They're just trying to close them. They're just trying to live in their mom's basement and make 10K per month because they watch one Imangazi video, right? And then they go and watch a couple of Jeremy Minor videos and they think they're the shit, right? So they already know what you're doing. So the number one way that you can differentiate yourself and seem like an expert while actually moving the needle of the sale forward, because it's how you should sell and helps you close more, is by coming across as you want to help them. The number one thing you're on this call to do is to help them, right? Just to see if I can help, just so I understand how you feel, right? You understand them and you help them, right? You got to seek to understand before seeking to be understood, right? That's the number one thing in sales, is also the ability to listen, right? That comes with like the helping frame of the call. Like you're there to see how or how not you can help them, even though you know you can help them. Because if you're somebody that's already doing 5-10K a month, or maybe you just had a couple clients but you made them a ton of money, you know that this person that's on your call, you can help them. But you can't project that. You can't project that like I can help everyone, right? Because it seems cocky and it seems needy and it seems salesy. So you want to frame the call as like the program's not for anyone or for every single person, right? I'd be risking lying to you if I told you like I can work with everyone. I can't, right? So I really just want to see if it makes sense. If you say that to a prospect, how do you feel like they would actually interpret it? Do you feel like they'd view you as how they view every other teenager or 19-year-old agency kid that posts the same exact cut and paste ad as the last guy? Pay per close, pay per this. Or do you think they'd actually view like, man, this guy seems a little bit different. This guy seems like an expert. Like he's willing to deny my business and say that he can't help me because he'd rather not take my money and not get a bad review versus take my money and get a bad review, right? Because he's an expert. So yeah, that's the overall thing. One thing I want to talk about is as far as like the being less trapped, that's one of the biggest things. It's like I said, they know what you're doing. So if you ask questions and they feel like the answer is just going to trap them, like a logical trap, then they're going to know what you're doing. Sales resistance is going to go up. If you have sales resistance, the call is basically over, honestly. Unless like there are very rare situations, like very rare. Like take this with a grain of salt, where like a little bit of sales resistance helps. And I'll talk about that later in the program. But most of the time, sales resistance is bad. And once you have sales resistance, the call's over. Like no matter how good you are objection handling, it's just over. So if you can make the process feel less trapped by your questions, if they answer it, oh, if he's just trying to get me to say this, oh, I see what you're doing. I'm sure you've heard that one before on a sales call, right? Oh, I see what you're doing. I like the way you're asking questions. If they say I like the way you're asking questions and they like how good you are at sales, please, this is something I tell everyone, do not ever take that, oh, you really do? Like, oh man, he said I'm good at sales. That's the equivalent, something one of my mentors told me is that's the equivalent of telling say you have a pet and the pet dog and he does something good, you say, good boy, you pat his head. That's the equivalent to that. So he's basically little broing you. And he's basically saying like, you can't close me. So you should actually take that very serious and not say, oh, thank you, and kind of dick suck a little bit, for lack of a better term. And you should actually take that for what it is, that you're not closing him. And then last thing is like, if you actually spent the entire discovery and the entire pitching process, whether that's customizing the pitch with their problem and what they specifically need, or asking them questions to make them feel like you really care about them and you care about their goals, you care about what happens if they don't solve the problem, you care about where they're at, and their North Star, objection handling is going to be a lot easier because you're going to get objections. Like, I don't care how good, don't get me wrong, I get objectionless calls. But in my opinion, like objectionless calls, like they're more determined by the marketing and the discovery, of course, but like the marketing's a big thing. Like if there's a lot of social proof down your marketing funnel, then you'll get less objections, because the number one objection in agency, as we all know, is trust, which I'm going to teach you guys how to handle on the call and before the call, so you can mitigate that. But besides that, like the point is, objection handling will feel like you're holding their hand, you're on the same side of the table as them. The only thing is, since you spent the whole call like trying to help them, you get to have that frame, versus like dragging them across the finish line and just trying to make the sale. That never works. But yeah, I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know in the community. You can, whatever, reach out to me, DM me. Okay, so the 5-minute pre-call prep. So what is this? How did I learn this from Hormozi's content and all my mentors, and the importance of it? So what is it first? The 5-minute pre-call prep, pretty self-explanatory. Before the call, you prep for the call, right? However, the preparation and like how that actually looks more tactically is what's important. So the reason being is like, if you, and this goes with anything that you'll ever do, right? Say you play basketball, right? I'm a big fan of basketball. And you know you're about to go into a 5-on-5 game, right? How much more confident would you be in your ability to perform if right before the game you spent 5 to 10 minutes shooting around, warming up, dribbling, trying like doing in-game or doing game pace, like practicing like layups at game pace, moving fast, warming up your heart rate and getting your heart going, and getting your hands warm and getting your shot right, your form right before you even take, or like how would that feel compared to just you walk in, you put your stuff on the floor, and then the ref is about to do the tip off and you just get on the court. If you play sports, you probably know the answer. And not just for basketball, anything, soccer, football, anything, baseball, whatever. The point is, like, that's what you have to do with sales. That's another thing. You got to treat it like a sport. But as far as a 5-minute prep, that's the best way I can explain it. What I do 5 minutes before a call, ideally, if I have time, if I'm not back to back, honestly, if you're back to back, you're already pretty warm. But what Hormozi talks about, that the importance of the 5-minute prep, I'll explain like what I like that he says and what I feel like helps me about it, that I feel like anyone, even he, would agree with. So how Hormozi talks about it is 5 minutes before the call, you study the prospect. You find out where they are, right? In your situation, because you're doing agency. You find out where they are, where they're located. So you can ask, that can be a question you ask to build a little bit of rapport starting on the call. Like, oh, I noticed you're in Dallas, Texas. And then maybe you say the name of their company too. I noticed you're in Dallas, Texas. How long since you started 123 Roofing? They're gonna be like, whoa, this guy is a G. This guy's a pro. He's like doing his research. It's the same thing as like if you were to meet a girlfriend's dad for the first time and you ask her a bunch of questions about her dad. What is he like? And you cater and you frame the conversation to exactly what he likes. And like, oh, I heard you watch football on the weekends. What's your favorite team? Same thing. If you can do as much of that with your prospects as you can. Now, if you're someone like me, where I'm typically on back-to-back calls all day long, then there's only so much you can do. The most important thing there is just being warm in terms of sales, right? Doing some objection handling role plays, like 30 minutes before your sales call with a buddy, or really getting in the mindset as like, okay, I'm going to get on this call. I'm going to have the frame that I'm an expert. I'm an authority. I'm here to help them. They actually booked in my calendar. So I have the authority. I have the frame, as much as they may not want that or believe that. And I have the solution to their problem. So they need me. I don't need them. Even though, of course, I know you need to get paid. I know you need to retire your mom. I get that. But you need to go on that call like they need you more than them. And if you really thought about it, they really do. Because these guys, I mean, if you're, especially B2B, these guys, like, they've tried every single lead service. Nothing is working. You know yours can help them. And you know the consequences without even asking them of what happens if they don't solve this problem, and you have the solution. You know that they can lose their business. They might have to get a 9 to 5. They might have to go door knocking, which they hate because they're too old. 40 years into their business, it's still not where they need to be so they can comfortably retire. They're going to have to work till they're 70, which nobody wants. They don't have time, money, freedom because even if their business is doing 7 figures a year, they don't get enough business to where they can kind of pull away from the business and be a business owner, work on the business rather than in the business. You have the solution to that if you really think about it, because it all starts with leads. If you don't have leads, you can't make sales. If you can't make sales, you can't make money. If you can't make money, you can't fulfill. Same thing with you and your agency. You're here because you need money. Not because you want to get better at sales. Of course you want to get better at sales, but the North Star is you need money. So you can grow your agency, so you can have time, money, freedom, so you can retire your mom. So you can retire your family. So you have that for them. That's what you need to think about. So they need you or you need them? Do you need their $1,000 a month, or do they need your life-solving solution? Now, as far as how you can get them to feel like you have the life-solving solution on the call so that they sell themselves, that's something completely different that I'm going to teach you a little bit later. But that's the mindset you need to have going into it. So yeah, the point is the 5-minute preparation. So you try to, the most important thing, the most needle moving thing is definitely how Hormozy talks about, like getting on that call and catching them by surprise. This helps with frame. So you can take frame right off the jump. If you can tell them something about them that you already know that they didn't expect you to know. Maybe their last name is like, maybe you're Hispanic like me and their last name is Hispanic, but so you bring that up, right? Oh, where are you from? You must be from Ecuador because because I know a lot of, and then if you're right about that, they're gonna be like, damn, this kid's sharp. This guy's sharp, right? And the last thing you guys look like on sales call, I guarantee if I review your calls, when I review your calls, is like experts. And at the end of the day, me personally, I'm not buying from an expert. All the $50,000+ I've spent on coaching, I only buy from people I trust. And people I feel like are an expert and people I feel like are way smarter than me, because I don't buy for less information. I buy for more and better information. I'm not going to pay somebody that I feel like is below me or even at the same level as me. But all you guys hop on sales calls and you're clearly, obviously below these people. Why would they buy from you? Why would they buy for you? So yeah, that's the point of that. The 5-minute preparations is extremely crucial. Helps you take frame. Just for a recap, it helps you take frame. It helps you stay sharp. It helps you be warm. Like if you were playing a sport, like if you were playing basketball and you got to warm up your jump shot. And then make sure you're sharp. That's okay. So having an authoritative, is this on? Hope so. Having an authoritative presence on the call and developing that consultant frame. So that's going to be huge. Probably one of the biggest things that one of my mentors taught me. It's almost like, imagine if you get on calls and like your prospects are seeking your advice when it comes to XYZ topic. In our case, marketing or advertising or lead generation, whatever you want to call it. Imagine like how much higher your close rate would be if like they sought your advice rather than seeing you as like some other agency kid that might scam them. You know what I mean? Now, obviously there are other things that go into that, like which I'm going to talk about it, because there are tactical things you can do as yourself as a person, because some people aren't naturally outgoing and some people are more naturally reserved and like aren't so good at like talking at people rather than keeping it within, you know what I mean, when they talk, which is fine. I've always had that kind of naturally, but there are days where it's like, if you're not feeling like yourself, you have to consciously do those things. So I'll talk about how to do that. But then there's the obvious things like having a neat background, right? That kind of makes you seem like a professional. Mine still needs some work. I just moved here, so I could probably put something here to take this. I feel like there's a lot of space, but it still looks like I'm in an office, whether I'm in my home office, which is fine, or whether I'm at an actual office in an office building, right? Which is key, right? You don't want to look like you're in your mom's basement. They've seen that. They've seen enough of that. And I was there too, right? So I can say that, like, I can say that confidently. Like, you don't want to do that. And I'm not saying if that is your background that you can't close deals, because I've closed a lot of deals with like a mid-tier background. But not only is the confidence you have going to be much better if you have like lighting hitting you, a nice clean camera from up and not from down here where it shows kind of like this, and like a mic that shows, which means you have a mic because you care about them hearing you, because that's what experts care about. Nice lighting. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Maybe a nice watch. I have an Apple Watch right now, but that's the point. So, but like, I guess like one of the more tactical things we can talk about is speaking loud and clear and speaking at them, right? So not keeping it within. Like, yeah, so like with your other marketing company, how did that go? Versus like, yeah, so give me some more context. Like with that other marketing company, like what were you actually noticing with them? What was the biggest bottleneck? What worked? What didn't work? Like I'm talking at them, like they really see that this is something serious to me, and they're gonna tell me, right? Another thing is a lot of people end sentences with an upward inflection, right? You want to end with like a downward inflection. Like as you're finishing a sentence, your voice gets deeper and lower, right? I know it's kind of corny when you just see me do it, but like I'm telling you, this will make the biggest difference on your calls, because typically people that talk fast, salesmen that talk fast and start with like, "How are you doing today?" or "What do you think?" Like upward inflection, like those guys, nobody trusts them, right? Nobody trusts them. Everybody sees it as like they're putting on an act. They're super enthusiastic. That's another thing. It's like when you're an expert, when you're actually an authority, like you're calm. You're neutral, you're calm, you're detached is a big word, detached from the outcome, but you're calm, right? You're neutral. If somebody gives you an objection or an obstacle in your discovery or some type of concern, like you're just chilling. Like that's huge, right? If you can have that, people like they'll seek your advice. I actually just got off the phone with a prospect that like I couldn't close him on the call because like finances, brand new company, you know how it is. And he just reached out to me, right? And on that call, I had so much like you always want to picture as like if your prospect's here with the frame, like if he's like an A type guy and he's up here with it, you want to make him feel like you guys are on the same level, but in reality, both of you know in the back of your mind you're here. You don't want to be up here with it. You don't want to be bullying them, and you don't want to be a pussy. You definitely, I feel like I'd rather bully than be a pussy. If you're naturally a pussy, then you need to work on that. If you're naturally a bully, you still need to work on that, but it's like less of an issue, but you definitely do want to work on that. Like if you're like the type of person who's like, why aren't you taking action for your business? Why? Like you want to avoid that. But yeah, experts are calm, experts are neutral, experts hop on 20, 50 calls a day. Experts don't care if you buy because the next person or the person before already bought, right? So that's another thing. So that helps a lot. Another thing with like having the consultant frame, which is something I learned from like one of the guys at her acquisition, is you got to know your industry very well, right? If somebody's seeking your help for sales, you got to know sales like the back of your hand, like I do. Like if you guys are going to be seeking help for me, you expect me to know like the answer to every single question you're asking me, right? And because that's what they're there for, right? If you're a consultant, like if you're going for that consultant frame, you're going for a frame where they're seeking your advice. So you have to know the answer of every single question, right? So you have to know your industry very well. You have to speak marketing. You have to speak marketing lingo like cost per acquisition, cost per lead, cost per booking, CPMs. Like you got to know all these metrics and what they mean and be able to answer questions about them. Now, if you're like me and you're in an industry where like these guys are most of the time not business owners and they're more so like contractors or kind of dumb, for lack of a better word, when it comes to business, then you want to refrain from that. But there's still ways you can show you're an expert without using crazy big terms, right? So, for instance, an example would be like, yeah, you know, for what are you doing for leads? Oh, we're door knocking right now, but I don't know. We're noticing it's been a little bit slow. Well, why do you feel it's slow? So that'd be a question you'd ask to like get them to defend why it's slow. So now they're telling you, now they're expanding the problem, like why it's bad. Well, because I actually don't know. I mean, recently, like people at the doors, like homeowners, they've just been more receptive or less receptive, right? So right there, you'd be like, yeah, that's something we're actually noticing. This is sauce right here. That's actually something that we're noticing across most of our clients or partners within the program. I mean, it makes sense though, right? Because if you were a homeowner, right, you're in a saturated market like XYZ, and you're the 10th company showing up saying the same thing, right? I mean, you're probably going to view them as the same as everybody else, right? And they're going to say, like, in their head, they're going to be like, duh, but they're not going to show that. But in their head, they're going to be like, oh shit, that does make sense. It's kind of like when you guys were cold calling. The reason you guys, or if you're still cold calling, which I'm not saying stop cold calling, right? That's a stage you have to go to. It's a stage I went through. However, if you guys are cold calling and you get on a cold call and you're wondering why people are like not interested, it's obviously because you're the 15th little kid cold calling from his mom's basement. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, right? Just what it is. It's a reality I had to face, but that's why I improved my skill level to be able to stand out from those other kids or started running paid ads. So it's like, you know that, but you don't tell your prospects that. You know that door knocking or cold calling, if they're real estate investors or all these other shitty methods, you know exactly what's wrong with them and why, as a business owner, you can't rely on just referrals to grow. Because to get referrals, you need sales in the first place to get referrals from. So how are you going to just rely on referrals? You know these things, but why don't you tell them? Because you're scared. That's the only reason. Because you know if you said this and you made it sound obvious and you didn't overcomplicate it and you said it like a normal person, other normal, not stupid person would say, huh, yeah, that makes sense. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. It's like, don't over defend your ideas, right? You know you're right when you say, as a business owner, do you feel like it's you can scale word of mouth when you're kind of relying on other people to talk about your business rather than you marketing it? You know the answer to that question is so obvious, and you know you're asking that question and like it's obvious, versus just asking it. Or you can either just ask it, or you can say, oh man, but you know, but here's the thing about word of mouth. Like, you have to tell people first, you got to do this, and you break it down step by step, and they're like, okay, bro, I get it. What do you want me to buy? What do you want me to buy? Like, you clearly really want me to buy. I know word of mouth doesn't work that well. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm on the call. So that's another thing. They know. You just got to highlight it a little bit more. Expand the problem so that in their mind, the gap is much larger. But yeah, stay calm, stay neutral. Don't get emotional, right? Stay disciplined. If somebody gives you an obstacle in the middle of your discovery, saying like, yeah, but you know, Facebook ads don't work. Don't freak out. Don't say, yeah, but Facebook ads do work. Yeah, but like, hold on. Imagine the difference between the salesperson that does that versus a salesperson like me that would just say, well, let's unpack that, right? Because obviously, like, the multi-billion-dollar industry that is Facebook ads, it doesn't just not work, right or wrong, right? So like, would it be fair to say it's more so like the marketer, not so the marketing, right? Wouldn't that be a little more fair to say? And they're gonna agree with you 10 out of 10 times unless you sound like a tool, like a douche, right? So it's so simple. Don't over defend your ideas, because experts and consultants don't have to do that. They just say it and it's true, and they're on your call because they see you as some form of an expert, even though barely as an expert because you cold called them. They still kind of like, this guy knows more than me about this, so you got to capitalize off that. But yeah, another mindset you want to have, I took note here, is like when you're sharing an idea and you're making it seem like, yeah, I'm right. You want it to be like, you know, you're right. You're just trying to get them to agree. You just have to get them to, oh my God, that's so obvious. Yeah, he's right. Right? Make them feel a little bit silly. Right? That's why you frame the question as like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're the 10th roofer or the 10th cold calling realtor or whatever, the 10th solar guy showing up at their door, like, obviously they're going to be a little bit resistant, right? Right. So do you feel like if you had maybe leads coming to you, so you actually had authority and they seeked you rather than you coming to them, do you feel like that would help you scale to XYZ, close XYZ deals, have XYZ freedom? What are they going to say? Of course, they're not retards. And they're not going to, and if you say it like that, they're not going to think, oh man, like this guy's just trying to get me to agree with him so he can close me. No, because you're saying it like if you're just a cool, calm, collected expert that's stating the obvious, that anybody, if you go down the street and ask John Doe, he'll agree. So yeah, that's the point. I don't want this video to be too long, but I can't stress this one enough. Is like being an authority, having presence on a call, and having that consultant frame on call. That's huge. Being a consultant, having a frame where like they seek your advice so that you have much more authority when you're pitching, when you're objection handling,
And it's almost like when you're objection handling, they're just like, what should I do based off this guy's prior experiences with other guys in my situation, right? Oh, in prior experiences, like people would go into a payment plan because they can't afford it because you need leads to grow your business. Or in prior experiences, people would not let one bad experience with a marketing company burn them twice. Once back then and once now when you're about to make the best decision of your life. Stuff like that. But yeah, I don't want to overdo it, but I hope that makes sense. And as always, okay, so in this video, I'm going to be going over the objection handling mindset, right? So essentially the mindset you want to have when you're objection handling. Now, a lot of you guys, what I've noticed, a lot of agency owners I talk to, even just salespeople in general, right? Like they just want to close, and trap people with logic traps, stuff like that, right? Like, you know, like for instance, they may like for let me put it to you this way. So the discovery you're gathering ammo for objection handling, yes, that is true. However, a lot of people rely on the ammo they gathered too heavily on the, I guess, during the discovery when they're objection handling, they rely on that ammo way too heavy, and it becomes to a point where they're like just really trying to trap them and go for the sale, right? So the number one thing which kind of combats that completely that you have to focus on when you're objection handling, like in that mode. And I'm not going to give tactical word tracks or anything because the truth is I will go over that, but I can't go over that without you understanding this. So the number one thing is actually understanding them, right? You acknowledge their concern. I hear you. So if somebody says, I want to think about, yeah, I hear you. I completely understand. I completely understand where you're coming from. I hear you, right? That's okay. Stuff like that, right? Because that's not only going to diffuse the situation, especially when you're selling to business owners who are likely in some sort of sales industry themselves. They expect you to immediately rebuttal, right? So if the first thing you do is step back, hands up, I hear you, no big deal, right? I completely understand where you're coming from. That's the number one thing, right? Having that patience and that discipline, not only in that part, like throughout objection handling, like you need patience and discipline, but especially in that part to not just be combative. What do you mean? I thought you said that you needed this. I thought you said that you had to commit to growing your business. Didn't you say you need marketing earlier? Earlier in the call, didn't you say that this was a big problem? So what happens if you don't solve it? Like going straight into that mode, like you have the right mindset, right? But it's just you can't go straight into it, and you have to really slow down and pace yourself. And that's where I say having patience and discipline is key. Sometimes just being able to pause and say, yeah, no worries, I hear you there, and just looking up, which leads me to my next point is you want to be very curious when you ask questions, because when you're objection handling, it always starts with asking questions, right? Almost the whole objection handling process is asking questions, honestly. So the very next step is like, I guess, what do you mean by that? Like when you said XYZ, what did you actually mean by that? When you say like you're not too certain, like I guess what did you mean by that? I'm trying to understand. Or sometimes you even just mirror them. Like for instance, what's a good example? I guess a good one would be, I'm not sure this would work for me. You're not sure this will work for you? And then just mirroring them, like they tell you what they mean, right? And then maybe you can clarify one layer deeper just to really get what they mean. Because that could mean I'm not sure this could work for me because I've been burnt in the past. That could mean I'm not sure this will work for me because my finances, because my finances don't allow me to. That could mean I'm not sure this could work for me because it's not the right time. We're going to a slower period, some shit like that. The point is, like, you really have to show that curiosity when asking a question like that, so you don't come across like a dick. One, because it's very easy to, when you're objection handling and you know what you want to say next, like to get impatient and say like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean though? It's like, fuck you, back off, dude. Versus like, okay, I hear you. I guess like, do you mind if I ask you a question? Or when you said XYZ, can you clarify like what do you mean by that? Having that patience is key. And I can stress on this so much because I used to not have that patience. Like my mentor would review my calls and say, brother, slow down. Or when we're objection handling, slow down. Like, just slow down. They're not gonna leave the call if you just take a little bit longer to answer, and it actually draws them in. Like, when somebody pauses, I mean, some of the best speakers like ever, I'm pretty sure like some of the best speakers are known for like their pauses, rather than like, okay, it's almost like you're like, what is he gonna say? Like, I actually got that from Jerry Minor when I was in his course. It's like pausing, like, huh. I guess like when you say XYZ, what do you actually mean by that, right? So that's the idea. The curiosity, being disciplined, being patient. Those are the most important things. And then the last thing is problem solving, right? So once you've gone through the entire stage where it's like you acknowledge them, you tell them that you understand their concern, and then you go into clarifying what they actually mean. The very next step is to problem solve, right? So without going into the frameworks and tying down value and handling this smoke screen and handling this objection, overall it's like problem solving. Like, you're in a problem solving mindset. You're on the same side of the table. You guys are both on the same side. You're just trying to help them figure out what's really going on, right? That's all you're there for. You guys are on different side of the table. It's not like you're dragging them through the finish line. You're almost like if you were talking to a child, right? Like, holding their hand, like walking them along the finish line. Yeah, so like that's it. That's literally it, slowly and patiently. If you have that mindset when you're objection handling, it's gonna help you a ton, right? Without knowing the frameworks, without knowing the word tracks. Because the thing is, once you learn word tracks, it's like, okay, you know the word tracks, cool. Like, you know the script, but like, now how are you gonna use it, right? Are you just gonna say the words? What about when somebody says something that's not on your script or that you didn't memorize on your word tracks? So that's the idea. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's the mindset you gotta have when you're objection handling.
So, onboarding SOP. This is pretty much how to onboard a client into your agency. It's the same way I onboard my clients every time we close a deal. So, it starts off with you close a client, right? You close a client, he paid you. Now, he's expecting something, right? And this is gonna be the most important part where I want you guys to really, really focus on is that you have to realize that he just paid you for a service, and he could have doubts. Remember, like, from the time where basically like, you close them and the time that you launch the ads, that's the time where like he can start thinking like, man, maybe I made a bad decision. Maybe I should not. I don't know. Maybe I should not bought that. Maybe I should just waited and see, like see like his ads more and see like more results. Like, maybe I need more testimonials, right? Like, even though he paid you, he can still have doubts, right? And there'll be times where basically on the time from client close, from every time he launches ads, you ask for a refund. That's happened to me before, right? Because you don't onboard a client right. So how you onboard a client right is obviously the first thing you want to have an onboarding call scheduled, and you want to have this scheduled the next day or the same day if ideal. But so like you pretty much want to get them on an onboarding call as soon as possible. The moment he paid you, I want you to look at what is the next available time slot that I can onboard that person. So if it's in the next 3 hours, next 2 hours, or like let's say like the next 3 hours, or like early morning on the next day, you want to do that as soon as possible, basically, right? And as soon as he's closed and as soon as the onboarding call is scheduled, you want to send him a welcome email. A welcome email is basically a email that's sent to him as like a welcome to XYZ, and it's kind of like you kind of saying that, like, look, I appreciate basically you trusting in us, and I'm gonna make sure that you actually succeed, right? So much just like a short, it's like a like a nice looking email, just kind of explaining who you are, the way you have done, and things like that. It's just like you just want to make an email that like he'll feel like welcome to like man, like he just bought something, he's very actually excited about it and everything like that. You just get him kind of excited, basically, just to get him excited. And then in that email, you want to send him an onboarding form. This is my onboarding form. It's pretty much just asking for their full name, email, and the company name, the company address, the phone number that he'll be receiving the leads and areas of service. Do you offer financing? Do you work in insurance? You don't have to ask these questions, but pretty much you just want to ask basically all the basic questions that you need to know about his company, and all the basic stuff that you need, right? We ask this so that when we get on the onboarding call, we kind of already have like a brief overview of exactly everything he does, everything like exactly where his service is, where he does want to service, his company address, his email, just so we can kind of save time on the onboarding call, because you don't want to hop on an onboarding call and just asking them basically like a bunch of basic BS questions that you can send them a form, right? Now, and then after that, you hop on the onboarding call, right? When you hop on the onboarding call, your whole goal on that call is to get access to the Facebook page and the ad account, right? Because we already have all the basic information. We don't want to waste time. We just want to hop on that call and get access to the Facebook page and get access to the ad account. And after that, the most important part is to set expectations. Set the right expectations. And by that is that you just want to tell the client exactly what he's going to face. Like, what does it look like for an average client to come in? What does he experience? Pretty much all the bad stuff that's going to happen, all the good stuff that's going to happen, all the worst case scenarios. You just want to tell him basically like just exactly what he's going to expect. You don't, like, if you give him high expectations, like I was just talking about that. If you tell this guy you're going to get 100 appointments, and then if you get him only 80, even though that's a good amount of appointments, if you get him only 80, he's going to think you didn't do that good. He's going to think you did horrible because you told him you're going to get him 100. So set the right expectations. Ideally, you want to under promise and over deliver. So tell him, look, I'll get you only 15 appointments, and the first month you only get 15. Now if you get him 20, he's gonna be happy because like, man, you told me he's gonna give me 15, but he got me 20, right? You want to set the right expectations and tell him all the things that can happen. He's gonna get an email of people trying to take his account, or a lead that he gets he may not enter. There's gonna be a few leads that it's not gonna be hot, outside quality. There's gonna be a few leads that are gonna be great. It's gonna be bad. All that matters is XYZ. Like, just go ahead and just set the right expectations. He's not gonna be mad at you. If you set him the right expectations, he's gonna it's gonna save you so much time and so much pain. Because when you don't set the right expectations, that's one thing that I went through myself. Is I was not setting the right expectations at first, to the point that I'll have clients just calling me, just literally just saying, "Hey, you told me I'm gonna get this, but I didn't get this." So set the right expectations and set the right tone, and tell them exactly how much you're gonna get in the first month, how much you're gonna get in the second month, and how many leads you're gonna get in the third month. If you set those expectations, I'm telling you guys right now, this will lower your churn. This can literally lower your churn by 20%. If you have a high churn, I'm telling you guys right now, just start. Once you start by setting the right expectations, I'm telling you guys right now, you will lower your churn just by setting the right expectations. Now, and then the last thing, it goes to basically inside of this part will be having a launch call. And the reason why you have a launch call is you want to show them the ad and explain them the ad. Because remember, if you just launch your ads and pretty much have no idea, you want to show him exactly what you're marketing, just so when he's talking to his leads, he's able to know how to overcome any objections. Or let's say if you're offering like a discount, like imagine like he's on the phone with someone and the guy says, "Oh yeah, I was talking your ad. You said you're offering like $1,000 off." It's like, "Oh, that's not me. That's not professional." You want him to know exactly what is going out there, and if he has any concerns, you help him understand why you run that ad. It's like, "Oh, I don't know if I like that ad." You can show him results. You be like, "Look, I'm running the same ad for this guy in XYZ, and he's doing amazing." Then he won't really care. It's really just all about like, if you set the right expectations, you won't have any issue. If you show him the ad, and if he has any concerns, you show him like why the ad works. It's really like, it's that simple. But it's pretty much really all that is when it comes to onboarding. Like, everyone kind of just makes it like overcomplicated, but as long as you set the right expectations and you do a launch call, you'll have no issues, right? And the whole process I want you guys to go for is you close a client, have an onboarding call, have it scheduled as soon as possible, and have the launch call scheduled in the next 48 hours after the launch call. No more than 48 hours after the launch call. It should not take you no more than 48 hours to go and set up the ad account and the Facebook page and everything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much really on the onboarding side. And follow this process, trust me, this is pretty much all you guys need. But yeah. All right, so the number one topic now, fulfillment. This is the one thing that everyone is so worried about. The person has no clients, he's so worried about fulfillment. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't have any clients right now, to be honest, you shouldn't even watch this part. Because what's very important for you is you need clients. If you don't have clients, you can't fulfill. It's just the way it works. But if you have a few clients already and you want to know how to build an amazing fulfillment, right? It comes down by a few things, right? One is that, like, this sounds like the best advice I can give you. This is the same advice I was giving to myself. Is care about your clients, bro. Care about your clients. That's the one advice. Like, my fulfillment only got good when I started caring about them. Like I remember I was on a coaching call for like I was getting coach, and I was pretty much just asking like how can I improve my fulfillment, like I want to improve my fulfillment, and I was literally told, Mo, if you care so much about your wallets, like if you cared as much as you care on like how much I care about my own wallet, how much money I have in my account, right? If I care the same amount on my clients, they will fucking win. They will all win. It's such a simple like a short phrase, but if you really think about it, it's really deep. It's really deep because it, it's true. Like you got your first client, right? How? Or let's say like your first, let's say 30K a month. How? Because you really wanted to you really want to make that money. Now you use the same amount of level of effort used for you to make the 30K a month on your fulfillment, and you will fucking succeed. And I'm gonna show you guys my method and exactly how I create amazing ads. And it's called Don't Reinvent the Wheel. I never reinvented the wheel. I've only, I guess, like recently, only like I've been like I guess like small ads. I kind of like I changed the industry up around. But if you have a few clients, don't reinvent the wheel. Find what's working and just improve it. That's literally I've been doing this for so long, and this is exactly what I do. You find what's working already, because trust me, there's already something that's working. You don't have to go ahead and burn yourself down, especially if this is your first client. This is exactly what you do, right? So as you can see right now, you can kind of see my full thing. So ads library. You look up on Google ads library, and then as soon as you go up ads library, you guys can't really see me. It's gonna fix that. So you look up ads library on Google, and when you look up ads library, all you're gonna fucking search up is your industry, right? Like what is going on in your industry. Like for example, like let's say we're in, let's go on roofing, to be honest. Just look up roofing. And remember, in ads library, you see everyone's ads that's active. Whoever has an active ad, it's up there. Like this is where you find this is where you find the winning ads. And I'm sure exactly what you do. You go to filters, and then on the two, move this to about a month. So it's May 7th today, so we'll go to April 7th. So basically, any ads from 2018 all the way to April 7th that were launched and that were still active. So we press that. Now it'll show us every single ad that's been up for over a month. We're only going to see ads here that have been up for over a month. Now, if an ad is up for over a month, what does that mean? If you like, would you be spending money on an ad for over a month if it's not making you money or it's not working? No, right? So I want you guys to really go in here and scroll for an hour. Just keep going down. You're gonna see like what type of ads people are running, right? Like for example, like the 8299 for a new roof, or like all these like there's like a common a common denominator. They all have the same type of ads, like in kind of like they all like the same type of frameworks, right? Now you want to take all these frameworks right here, and you basically want to make it like, how can I make this one better, right? Like for example, I'm sure guys like for like the 8299 roof ads, it works great, right? If you're gonna go and just copy the ad, you could just go and copy the ad. But what I would do is I'll find an ad that's working, and then I'll make it better. I'll read through it, see what can I improve on this one, right? How can I make it better, right? And I guess the main reason why I said earlier is that why you should not be worried too much about fulfillment is because the truth about fulfillment is that you only get really good at fulfillment as you keep doing it. There's no secret to fulfillment. There's really no secret. It's by getting feedback from your clients, and over time, you just learn fulfillment, or just the way it works. Like, I would love to give you guys the only thing I can really tell you guys is just care. Is actually care. This is a skill that you just learn over time. You can't really just buy. You can't buy the skill. Fulfillment is something you can't buy. Like it's something that you can't buy. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be the hardest thing you do. out of anything in AT, fulfillment is going to be the hardest thing. And the reason why it's the hardest thing is because it's a lot more complex. It's actually like running ads, but you just like, I only got good at fulfillment. I only got good at actually getting my clients leads and appointments, and then actually closing deals over time as I get feedback from them on the leads and on exactly, as I test more ads. It's just really about you testing ads, and over time you will just start to learn exactly what works and what doesn't work. Like, I know exactly what ads work. All those ads you saw right there, because I'm in the roofing industry, I know they all worked because it's the same framework that I use. It's the same framework that I use. I don't like doing like the A499 for any roof ad anymore. But it's just about, it's like it's not like really like as complicated as you think. Like, if you go on ads library, I'm telling you guys right now, if you go on ads library and you sit there for an hour, you will learn the types of ads that work. I do a completely broad. It's pretty much just like an ad I just run. Like, it's just really like everyone just overcomplicates it, right? But you only learn over time as you get feedback from your clients and as you test more ads. That's the only way I can. That's something I can tell you about fulfillment, and so much really it. That's really like all. That's all that's come down to. But yeah. So now I'm recording this part after I recorded the whole course, and it's been a long day. It's been a long day, and I really hope that you guys really liked it. And if there's anything that I missed in this course, if there's any questions that you have, I want you to go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Any questions that you have, if there's anything I left out and that I didn't deliver on the value that you need, add in the comments. I'll gladly make you a Loom video and I'll send it to you on exactly what you need. Or I'll make a video on it and post it on my YouTube channel. But really, like, if you really watch this whole thing, like, I want you guys to realize that you did something amazing. You sat down and watched the whole course. I'm editing this video right now. It's gonna be about almost about 3 hours. And if you watch the full 3 hours, that's amazing. Because if you think about it, you just sat down for 3 hours to learn. It's not something that everybody can do. It's not something that everybody can do. A lot of people can't sit down and watch things for 3 hours. But you sitting down for 3 hours shows me that you are serious. And you're hearing this right now because you were a serious person that actually sat down and watched the whole thing. And it's great. At the end of the day, I was doing the same. I was watching a full course at first. That's pretty much how I learned. Even when I was scaling my A&T, I went back on those old courses to get all the problems that I had so I can fix those problems. But it's really just about actually lock in and actually implement everything you learn. Everything you learn from this course, implement it. Because without implementing it, you just wasted exactly 3 hours of your life. If you didn't implement a single thing, you wasted exactly 3 hours of your life. And I'm actually serious about that. I'm not only saying that just so, like, it's actually like just actual advice. Whatever you learn, actually implement it. Literally implement it. If you don't implement it, then you just wasted 3 hours of your life watching a black guy tell you about SMMA, and then you make yourself think like I'm working. Unless you actually implement the information, you didn't really do anything. Kind of just wasted your time. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And as I said, if there's anything that I missed that you have any questions on, drop it in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want more free value.